Good evening, brethren, sistren, and otherin. Welcome back to No Theoretical Bias Presents. Tonight, the big story. We have got a wonderful show for you this evening. It is to be hoped. Otherwise, the beatings will continue. And may I present our wonderful cast. Currently presenting Thor the Glorious. Wave for us. Dwarven Hammer, once a soldier, now a wanderer, someday a king. Just ask him, he'll tell you. Next up, Sumac the Dryad, the Hazard, the Wayfinder, the Tracker, friend to Sidewinder, a massive snake of similar heritage, and just
Forgot I had this.
way too old for any of these shenanigans.
He's a rattlesnake, though. This is far too white.
Far too white. Story of my life. Far too white. And Mika Moonborn, a crucible, fire mage, moonstone golem, servant to the sunfire goddess, the queen of light. Next up, we have Shadow the Corvid, reclaimer. Thief is such a hurtful word. Children can be so cruel. Inquisitive, acquisitive with sticky fingers. Literally. Climbing walls like it's not even trying. And Revan Tribender, a disgraced noble in Covenant, a mage whose power depends on a handful of allied spirits. When last we met, our band of ne'er-do-wells was traveling to East Haven. East Haven is a trade village run by an operation known as the Clean, a hegemonic empire of water. They provide the water, you provide everything else, or else. When making a reacquaintance with some soldiery that Thor had bumped into in the past, one of his old buddies, the sergeant, clued him into some shenanigans. Meanwhile, Shadow, who had run afoul of a fence known as Laris Nine Fingers, Laris had made Shadow an offer that they could not refuse. Go out and find me this mannequin thing. Laris has got an unfortunate... Well, let's just not too closely explore the phrase uncanny valley.
Fetish.
We could just leave it there. But yes, he's looking for things that look human or look mortal but are not, for whatever purposes are entirely his own. And so, lurking about, spreading around a little jingle to make the gears move more quickly, the group was able to do a heavy inspection on something that had come in off the Sea of Dust. Sumac the Hazard says, that's impossible. Nothing comes off the Sea of Dust. The Sea of Dust is basically a remnant of a magical nuke. The dust goes from gritty to fine to superfine to you will breathe it and die. And there's miles of it in a massive, massive circle or ellipse. Nothing goes in, nothing comes out. It's unlivable to anything, but something came off of it. They found a robotic body of an ancient war machine called a Created. This was of no little interest to the group because they've actually recovered a mind ring. It's a circlet of orichalcum metal. You can look that one up. Circle of orichalcum containing the clockpunk robotic brain of a old officer. Originally known as Force Leader 1, he is now affectionately known as Pilate. And these crew, look at these faces. Okay. Whatever I had planned, they threw it out the window. They are going to go find a body for their new best friend, Pilate. And GMs out there, remember, your players will pack bond with anything and don't test them. All right, so checking out this nice little robot that they found, completely the wrong model, not even the same manufacturer. Its little mind ring was about this big. However, they did recover what Revan the Mage, Revan the Covenant, says is some sort of magical compass. And they were also able to spark up the intellect of the new robot, which they call Shovel 1. Don't have a body for him that works, but they do have his mind ring as well. So It's a collection. Sooner or later, Shadow will be absolutely covered in gold bangles, all of which have the computing power of, Google. So, should be fun. All, set to, kill, maim, and destroy. So, their magical compass pointing straight out into the sea of dust. Not maybe, not kinda, not sort of. Also, Revan, a disgraced noble, but the Tribender name still carries some weight in some locations. Revan has made a rendezvous appointment with one of the magisters of the Clean, the operation here, to try to get some information, maybe offer the services of the group, and maybe get a little filthy lucre to go along with it. So, table talk are any of you need to discuss anything before Revan makes his meeting?
The meeting in the morning, right?
Correct.
Okay, you guys all wake up, and I am shining way brighter than I was.
Very much so.
After the sun goddess gave me a little kiss of light last week and everything, or when the in the sunset, no one noticed it at the time because I'm always off-putting a little bit of light, but it's very clear now that whatever light I was off-putting is doubled, tripled, massively amplified. I was wearing a little bit of clothes that was covering up some of the light. Not anymore. It is completely coating and shining through my clothes, giving my clothes a nice little light aura too.
Yeah, it looks like a backlit sail, actually. Hey, Micah, go ahead and give me that spirit roll, please. Give me a cool to see how. I assume I know how happy the Queen of Light is with you, but let's see.
She's not very happy with me right now.
Well, even your +1. Well, it's not that she's not happy with you. It's that she's lost interest in some of the accoutrement. All right, so you can still offer her. Okay, you get a choice. She's currently interested in frequent worship and metal sacrifices. She's lost interest in one of the two. What do you think she lost interest in?
Probably metal.
Okay.
I think I'm trying to set up some nice worship and everything, and I don't want her to lose interest to that. So.
Okay. So lost interest in metal offerings. Okay. Cool. So again, you probably made up for it this morning by an extra hour or two of praise to the light. Never a bad idea. All right. Any other preparations that you want to make before Revan goes to his rendezvous with death at a lonely bear? I'm sorry, different rendezvous. Rendezvous with potential death at the hands of a very, very mundane merchant.
Well,
Shadow's just clinging to Micah, just staring at their skin, right up on it.
That's new.
Mike.
It's quite new, my friend Micah. Previously, it was potentially possible to overlook you in a crowd, but now you are absolutely, undeniably a target of attention. This is great.
Shiny,
yes.
mine.
Oh, wonderful. How does one come across such a wonderful ability? At first, I thought it was just natural, but you're just positively glowing.
The Light Queen blessed me with the natural radiance.
Oh.
Shadow, yes, 99% of your brain is, this is the shiniest thing ever. 1% is, we are never going to be able to hide. I mean, we're talking blackout curtains completely covering, and you kind of have to drag Micah along in a sled because he's going to be a very bright spot in the darkness. So, just as an FYI.
As a team.
This is not something you can achieve.
Oh, it is a terrible shame. I'm mostly aware.
If you worship the Light Queen, maybe she can gift you radiance too.
I will keep that in mind.
Shadow's trying to figure out if Urkthor is trying to riz up Micah right now.
Now I'm picturing that Urkthor buys a lens like a spotlight, and he like hires Micah just to stand and like focus, and it's like da 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 da. Hey, folks, I need to make an entrance. All right, yeah. Okay.
But on a side note, as much as it is wonderful, there is a slight focus of today of Revan. You are visiting the water people today, correct? Yes, the men of power in the town, correct?
The Queen.
Have we at all as a team considered what we're looking to get out of this now that we have an idea of at least we have an idea of what direction we might want to be going if we do decide to go that direction?
Finder's fee.
I think that would potentially be a great idea. Speaking of which, Sumac, just how dangerous is it to go out into the Sea of Dust?
Have you seen anything come back?
I don't know. I've never ventured out, and yes, technically I have, because that body mannequin statue thing from the other day came from it. What would it take to get us in and out?
Are you made of metal?
No.
Chances are you won't come back.
So you're saying many have not?
Uh-oh.
Are you saying that if I do, I'd be one of the first of many? Well, one of the first of few.
Umek is just not talking anymore. She knows where this is going.
Oh boy, this is wonderful to hear. Yes. So, first off, undeniably the compass is pointing towards the Sea of Dust. There is a high probability that it leads to more of those bodies that came in from the Sea of Dust already once. And not only would this fulfill that goal of potentially finding a body for Pilate, but it would also be something that most people cannot do, potentially a feat noteworthy of a very successful group of adventurers.
You could be the first to map it. On foot.
I don't know about mapping, but yes, this is coming together nicely. Revan,
Kill many things to keep your sorry ego alive. Dust, I cannot.
Uh-oh!
as much as it pains me to admit that your name at the moment is more well known than mine, would you mind if I came with you to this meeting?
Well, of course I'd need my trusted bodyguard to be with me at all times.
Trade partner?
Military superior.
Commander. I don't want to diminish your own reputation when we're living off of yours at the moment. We can hold on to that for later, Micah, but good idea, I like that.
Companion will work.
Companion. Companion would be fantastic. Perhaps aided you in finding some of the technology you've sought so far.
We could... Yes.
This sounds great. I can think of the story now. Okay.
Good luck with him. You're going to need it.
So, with more help, Sumac, what types of things should we be asking of them in order to make this, instead of a remote, distinct, non-possible return safety, to at least a remote possibility? What types of equipment might we be seeking aid for?
You would first need something that prevents you from sinking into dust.
Good point. Okay. Noted.
Oh.
Water, supplies.
Okay.
Something to mask your eyes.
Okay, yes. That makes sense. Vision is quite necessary.
Make the people blind.
That all makes reasonably good sense. Okay. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Still some of the bravado you have while you're out there. think it'll
It's
weigh
my
you
charm.
down.
I can't help it. All right.
Shadow flicks a little pebble at Umberk. It misses, but it's close.
That reminds me of the guy. He says to his girlfriend, he says, "When we first went out, were you attracted more to my good looks or my charm?" He says, "Must have been your charm." All right, so hey, we're back. All right, any other prep plans or whatnot that needs to happen prior to this meeting? Who's planning on tagging along?
It's just...
Okay, bodyguard. Anybody else?
Shadow's quite literal 2 pages of potential words they're allowed to say is not going to attend this discussion.
Do I trust Urkthor by himself? What happened last time I did that?
In his defense, he was left unsupervised.
Am I just not here now?
Um,
Excuse me.
You don't count.
Urkthor did...
Alright, I'm coming with.
Okay.
All
I
right.
don't like cities, but
That means less
I just
things I
the
have to remember.
alternative.
I just want to make it clear. You are leaving Shadow and Micah unsupervised.
No,
Oh, you
we're-
have Sidewinder. Given his orders.
Shadow, you can help me with the body.
What?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Okay. Yes.
That body. Right.
See,
Not
that
person.
phrase. That
The one
phrase
you're
really
making,
depends.
not the one that we intentionally didn't steal, correct?
Yeah, if Sumac said that, that would be a completely different vibe. Completely. All right. So,
I don't have any bodies yet.
Well,
Oh,
none
well,
that
but
anyone can.
before
Yeah,
we do this,
right
we
now.
need to, and with this, I will take the 2 aside. First off, I'm going to don upon the outside of my trick. I will put on. I have a crest of the Tribender family that I will
Nice.
don on the outside of my clothes, and then I will cast precipitation
Prestidigitation.
on all
Good.
3 of us, so we do not smell and reek of the road.
Oh, well, that was
Thank
easy.
you.
Yes. So you're all fresh sand scoured and shiny cheeked. All right. So you head on
Polish a
over.
few of my buckles.
Can you never use that phrase in front of me again, please? Sorry, long day. All right, so, Teehee. Sorry. So, you head over to the meeting. There are lots and lots of other bodyguards for the Meister in evidence. He's not the biggest deal, but Meister Grisbane is high enough in the food chain that he's got bodyguards. Your choices, associates, is either submit to a thorough inspection and lose all your weapons, which will be returned to you upon leaving, or you can stay out in the antechamber. No one goes armed in front of a maester.
Well, this is simple for me. I'm unarmed.
You're never unarmed.
I don't have any weapons on my person.
Decided not to leave Sidewinder with those 2.
Right.
He might be liable to eat the bird.
Hmm.
Look back at him and at the guard. What would you like me to do with him?
I don't know, a little salt, some lemon. Turn
I like
My
this
bets are
guy.
on him.
I'm going to take that as a rhetorical question. Gentle being, you might just, if you wanted to leave your stuff with that, no one's going to bother it.
Fair enough.
So,
Alright.
Pull
I'll have
one knife.
Sidewinder
pull
guard any of
another
the stuff that we
knife,
put down in this
pull
chamber.
a sword. Pull another knife.
so
Pull
now we
a
have
sharpened stick.
we have the opposite of that getting ready. What do they call that?
I save Urk through the
Training.
time and basically drop his belt and throw it over to
Hey,
Sidewinder.
no. My belt is very decorative and pretty. I try to keep it in a
It's-
good condition.
Sumac
the op-
chucks it across the room.
It's an opposite of a training montage. He's just throwing stuff in a big pile. All right, so you make your way inside. You are greeted by the good maester. There's chairs. Strangely, there's chairs for everyone. All of you've got the requisite little tiny little clear glass tumbler of water that shows that this is a cordial meeting. Other refreshments will be served. As I said, Meister Grisbane, he's almost entirely unremarkable. And at this point, you think it might have to be a very decided attempt. Average height, average weight, average coloration. Not ugly, not handsome. I mean, your eyes just want to glide off of him. But he does have a pleasant cast to his face today, and he stands to greet you and bows and asks you to have a seat, raises his glass of water to each of you, takes an appreciative sip. So, thank you so much, my good lord, for attending this. I admit I was a little surprised to get a message from you. What can the Clean do for the good tribenders this day?
In this case, it is more what I believe we could do for you. I've heard around that you've picked up something off the Sea of Dust, and well, I've heard it's something quite old, and I happen to have at least one of a better education of old things than most.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping I could investigate for you if you make it worth my while.
Yes. I understand that you're a student of the mystical arts of some measure.
That and most other matters I could get books on my hands of.
Yes. So a scholar and a sage is always a valuable thing. I'm sure you'll agree. Yes, we do have some questions about the item recovered. But there's a certain question of secrecy.
If you're asking me to get rid of, inform of you of my informant of how I know you have it, I cannot do such a thing. But if you're asking for our own silence, I can offer you that for no cost, of course.
Too many people saw the recovery effort. Keeping a lid on all the secrets is an impossible task. Holding back the dust with a broom in a sandstorm. No, it's the next steps that we're more concerned about. So I won't insult your intelligence. The created soldier that was recovered by one of our patrols, would it surprise you to know it's not the first?
Intriguing. Okay. So you have a collection of them.
Collection is too strong a word. When we were having the unpleasantness with the Children of the Phoenix, one of our long-range patrols on the far side of the sea recovered the remains of another similar object. It was not in any good shape, but again, all indicators were that it had come off the Sea of Dust as well. So, as the thinkers and the generals say, once is incident, twice coincidence, and 3 times is enemy action, and professionals don't believe in coincidence. So something is happening in the Sea of Dust that we don't know about. And if it was something happening far away, obviously there'd be an interest. It's literally in our backyard. And since you do have some background in things historical and things magical, your name did come up actually in some of the discussions back at home. Your name was floated as one of the people who might be helpful in this. So the task. Unfortunately, it will require you and whoever you deem necessary for the effort to travel into the Sea of Dust.
I was afraid of such a matter, but luckily I have with me a trusted outlander who hopefully can see us through a journey as such.
That would be Sumac, correct?
Her.
Yes, correct.
Yes.
Yes. Gentle being, your record precedes you. Your reputation precedes you. I was surprised to find some records, older records, a bit dusty, of how you were able to assist one of our clients. Would have been looks like 70, 71 years ago. So again, the records are old, but the references are glowing. So thank you for your efforts that did benefit my people, even if it was secondhand. So yes, I'm assuming security will be taken care of by the good Urk Thor.
Of course.
Yes.
Nothing makes it through me or past me unless I let it.
And if you
All
can
right.
see the giant snake in the chamber beyond.
Yeah,
Definitely helps.
it probably
Actually,
go
looks a
outside.
bit larger than it used to.
Yes. So obviously, we this doesn't have to ever become common knowledge, but we do have a few specialized patrols that are capable of braving the Sea of Dust, at least for short ranges. So you will be provided with suitable gear. Again, based on your estimates, feel free to give them to the scouts. They're the ones who will be doing the ultimate supply, but we'll keep track of your supply estimates and any additionals that you'll need. The compensation. The Clean is prepared to offer you free travel documents, as well as allied status and individually, and also trade station rights of hospitality. All right, so the three of you would know this. Pre-travel, that's huge. Okay, that would let you go through, that would basically let you cut through Iron Gate, and not a lot of people get to do that. So again, since this is all canyon land and badland here, going from north to south, either you have to be in real good with the Clean or you got to go around. It would also give you passage through their main military stronghold there, Blackstone Keep. Again, opening up the reaches to the west a lot easier. So that's big. Second, allied status. Yeah, there would be very few places where you weren't allowed. Now, probably supervised, but there would be very few places you weren't allowed. Also, Urkthor and Sumac, both of you would know, they hire allies first. If they need a few extra guards, if they need a little extra, the raiders are getting uppity on this one particular stretch of road, they go to the allies first. So it's good to be preferred status. The last one's a biggie. Hospitality rights at the trade stations means any of you with the documentation could roll into any Clean trade station anywhere in this continent and say, I need a place to sleep, food, and water, and enough water to get me to the next one, and they would give it to you. Okay, they would note that they gave it to you, and you wouldn't be allowed to abuse it. But yeah, basically they've just opened up all of their trade partners' lands to free travel. So it's not a lot of cash on the barrelhead, but this has got they're really interested in this. So, obviously, gentle beings, you'll have to discuss with your associates. Please, I'll have a runner just follow you. They can wait outside. When you have a response, either the runner will take you to the the scout outpost to get you outfitted and ready. If the answer is no, we understand. It is a very dangerous undertaking, but we would ask that we get either a yay or nay as soon as possible. So if it's a nay, we can explore some other opportunities. Any questions you had for me?
What is the So what you're expecting of us is us, of course, of our specialized group to go in and investigate, and then come back and tell you what we found.
Yes. If we can find a source of these created, that would be optimal. If we can find a reason why they're active all of a sudden, there haven't been any verified reports of, again, anything coming off the Sea of Dust for hundreds of years. And suddenly in the last 18 months, we've got 2 similar objects, similar created, unknown reasons, unknown motivational force behind it. If there is someone or something pulling the strings on these little metal puppets, the clean needs that information post haste. Also, full salvage rights. We won't require a cut. Though, if you do find anything not of immediate value to you, we would like first right of refusal before you sell it to anybody else. And
That can be arranged.
I have one additional note I would like to place. If we find one of these things in operational state, I would like to request a right of ownership and claiming it under the Tribender name, just to make sure you don't try to seize any prize that we find directly. I will assuredly promise that it shall never be used against the clean, but...
counteroffer, my lord. If you find 2 in working condition, you may lay claim to which of the 2 you would like to
as long as I pick first.
granted. Anything else?
Actually, I have an inquisition or two. Mostly concerning the flow of information regarding this motion. You're saying that you want secrecy to this attempt above all else, which of course I understand, but I have some concerns. At first I found it quite amiss that despite your high importance on security, it was so easy to gather information that you'd found such a thing from the Sea of Dust. Of course, that's a hard thing to hide and cover up, but it's going to be equally as hard to hide and cover up the fact that coming out of this city that's just discovered a sentinel potentially, there's a group with enhanced abilities to get through security, gain hospitality.
Okay. You
There
might
would
have
be
competitors.
A
It's not
large...
just the dust we're worried about.
Yes.
Master Urkthor, I don't know if you've ever had a problem with any legal matters. Any problems with a constabulary? There's a phrase they like to use, known associates.
Mm-hmm.
So, allow me just to hypothesize. If a notable such as yourself, or a notable such as Master Revan or the good Sumac were to be in a trade haven owned and operated by an organization that has a little bit on the ball as far as informational security, just hypothesize how hard it would be to find out that you and the good sergeant were on a good standing. Do you know what we do to our enemies, my lord? Do you honestly think the sergeant was operating on anything other than orders to let you know? We really wanted to see how you would jump, and we're pleased with the result. Thank you. Oh, by the way, tell your friend with the sticky fingers thank you for leaving everything mostly in place. I want to bet on that.
Understood, but actually that's not the point I was getting at.
Mhm.
At some point, news of our travels is going to break. It's inevitable. What my suggestion is that we take initiative on it and control the story. Because
that would
especially
be
if people know what, or at least what we are willing to tell them about what we're going out to do, not only does it let us control the narrative, but it also takes whatever you're doing in this city in the background with what you've already acquired, a lot less heat off of that. So I think it'd be to both of our benefit to control this narrative.
Oh, true. Those who control the narrative or control the information control the world. So I probably is of no surprise to you that we have 3 or 4 very talented bards on retainer. I'm thinking of a little song. Maybe starring, a traveling, sort of a wandering do-gooder, man of the earth, a man of stone. A dwarf
I would very much appreciate that.
Yes.
If I can make one request,
certainly.
and sorry if this is a tad selfish, but try your best to leave out the names of my companions and focus it on my name, Ukthor. Because if there's going to be I understand there's a risk of putting our name out there, and if there's going to be any risk for putting our name out there, I'd prefer that it's focused on me.
Yes, truly a river to your people, my lord.
Of course you would.
Just selflessly throwing yourself into the limelight like that.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Any complaints with that?
On a more important note.
None from this side of the table, my lord. Yes, you were saying.
Have you lost any operatives in the dust? Should I be looking for people or for bodies?
That would be a question for the scouts. They've been briefed to let you know everything.
I figured you'd want your trail covered.
Granted, I don't believe that we've lost any scouts, only because they travel in 4s and 5s and have a tendency to bring back the bodies. So, yes, when the Master Scouts, what's his name? Master Scouts, Treda. Do take his words to heart. He is the closest thing we have to an expert on the Sea of Dust and has seen many horrors. So, all right. So again, he refills your glasses with water, has a ceremonial shot, sets it down, and gets up and leaves. What do you do?
Well, I think that went well.
Do I remember what they were talking about 70 years ago?
Yeah, actually, I think it was, well, you can come up with the backstory on this. Basically, there was a client village of the Clean. They were having some other issues that were impacting their ability to maintain good trade relations with the Clean. You were able to help some of them with their individual problems, which led to an overall benefit to the village, which turned around as continued payments to the Clean. So, again, taking apart the whole mercantile nature of it, it kind of sort of saved the village through your actions, and they said lots and lots of nice things about you. All right, so anybody leaving anything out before you tell Micah and Shadow about the deal you made?
I think we're good.
Shadow and I would have put Shadow to work, just helping with the body and everything, and same with Kirkland. Okay. I think Kirkland, Shadow, and I would all have been
beautiful.
If I attempt to take this glass and fill my skin with it out in the other chamber, are they gonna try to stop me?
What?
Not skin, like a leather skin.
Oh, okay.
I don't
Well,
need
still.
water all that often.
It's kind of a
Oh.
I can.
It's-
I'll take the glass. I always am thirsty.
It's kind of a flex to have all the water you want. So the pitcher sitting there with condensation leaking down the sides. It strikes me
yes.
that would be an affront to you. Okay, I mean, maybe I'm putting words in your mouth, but for you to pick it up and go glug 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 thunk, and walk out completely in character in my head, and they would all just go, oh, how gauche, oh, how terribly, terribly plebeian of that.
All I
But
hear
nobody-
is that she
nobody would
should
stop
do
you.
it.
Yeah, nobody would stop you. That's scam.
Can add another thing of water on here.
Yeah, one use of water.
Ah, yes.
Which I didn't
Sumac.
actually have any extra, so fair enough.
Nice.
Sumac the well saturated.
You didn't have extra water? You telling me I had more water than you?
I don't
The
suffer any bad
well
effects until the
saturated.
7th day mark.
Yeah.
I can be out for days, no issue.
Yeah, your desert dryad there. Your desert
You're
dryad
the
there
one
is
supposed to keep us alive. I feel like you should be
Yeah.
not.
One must keep themselves alive to keep others alive. And if keeping oneself alive is easier, so does the other job become.
Not if
Time-wise-
the rest of us die.
Hey,
All right.
let's reconvene. Let's take our knowledge back to the others.
Time-wise, when would this meeting have started, and how long would it have taken?
Oh, a little bit after.
Train travel and everything is included.
Again, it was here in the village. There's offices that the clean maintains. So basically, dawn, breakfast, meeting, and they're back. The meeting took about as long as it took here. So with divesting and revesting of military hardware, half an hour.
Okay.
Yeah. In player, not in character, but for player perspective, yes, my character doesn't even start suffering poor effects from dehydration until 7 days have passed. I have my days since water chart right there when I just
Nice.
mark stuff and erase
Nice.
it.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, part cactus, part camel. All right. So,
Yeah.
Mika and Shadow.
Micah.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Micah and Shadow. Micah is a stone. I can remember a stone. Micah
Yeah.
is very glittery. It's a glittery stone. Micah.
You find it
Okay.
in granite.
Exactly. I don't want to take Micah for granted.
Oh.
I'll take Micah for granted.
All right, that's your one dad
That's
joke.
my one pun of the
That's
day.
one.
It's I can stop anytime. Okay, you know.
No
I need to make a
Oh.
marking spot
Okay.
for that too.
Yeah,
Oh, and please,
gotcha.
we just had this intervention last week.
Yeah, they threw this huge party for my birthday. What did they call it? An intervention. I don't remember much. It was. I got a lot to drink. It was a really good
The
time.
theme was odd.
Yeah, my mom was there. That was weird. You know. All right. So, who? Okay, Micah, you're going to be doing the work. Shadow, if you think there's any assistance that you can make, you can go ahead and give a prop or drop roll for that to assist the good Micah. How many blood do you got with Micah?
Me? Oh,
Yeah.
jeez. I think just one.
Just one? Okay. If
Yeah,
you want to
just
help,
one.
if you want to help, you can. If you don't, you don't have to.
I'm helping.
Beautiful.
Shadow has nothing better to do aside from stare at Micah and admire how shiny they are. Still trying to figure out a way to compress Micah and keep them in my pocket. Add them to my hoard.
Yes.
I'd watch your pinkies
So,
if I were you.
Go ahead and give me a proper drop roll there, Shadow.
Absolutely. Oh, jeez, where is that?
Should be set on bond.
Oh,
Sorry, it's got one of the options is for blood as opposed to quick or sharp or any of those. So, is it working?
honestly, I think my sheet is still missing stuff.
Let's take a look.
While we talk
here.
about sheets, is my character sheet not able to be read by the other people other
No,
than
we
you,
can
Owen?
Open it up and look at it.
Can you?
Oh, there it is. Found it.
Okay, you found it.
I
Yeah,
haven't
like
looked
a
at it,
bow.
but
Why do you ask there, Urkthor?
Because I'm wondering, just for reasons, because when I try to open up like Revens, I get a little tab for it, but it's all black.
Oh,
That's
let me
good.
check.
That's good to know because I just quickly changed one of my abilities to a different name.
Okay. I'd have to go through and look individually. At one point, I think I had set up all character sheets so that every player can access them. I can change that back, so it's just.
Well, no. It's potentially okay this way.
Okay.
Just
No, each one is only accessible by its player.
Okay.
that's vaguely good to know.
Okay. Cool.
For
All right.
no
Somebody wants to
particular
hide
reason.
things.
So, Shadow is actually very, very helpful to you, Micah. Go ahead and give me. If you want to do, let's see.
It's a forge. It's a quick roll. I'm
Okay.
assuming
Yep.
because I think
hit
that's
it.
what it's supposed to be.
Yep. Hit it.
Plus, and that's the +1 because of the. I'm assuming you're giving me a +1 and not a -1.
Shadow.
Shadow.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
We
So
can go with that, sure.
That'll bring it to a 9.
No,
if you-
that's included. So that's
Oh.
a
That was
that's-
a natural
that is-
7.
that's a 7 + 1.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
neat.
Beautiful. All right. So, yeah. It takes about the amount of time that you were thinking. You're only about, I'd say, a quarter done with it. You were focusing on like the legs because of the articulation and whatnot. Now, was your design concept that you're going to make it look exactly like the wind and damage?
Probably.
Or do you want to?
Probably more crude. So Kirkland's helping out too, as
Mhm.
well. I want it almost like a so like you obviously have like a Barbie doll, right? And then you have like a knockoff that's you can tell what it's supposed to be, but it doesn't
Mhm.
look exactly alike.
Mhm. So you're trying
I-
to make it created from Wish.
Yeah, I want it passable, but
Right.
not usable. that
Shein
makes sense.
created.
Whoa. That's a lot of brand names we're tossing around right there.
This is true. My bad. Hey, big shout out to everybody's lawyer. So we're trying to be cool. Fair use.
Listen,
All right.
We have no profit yet.
Yes. No such thing as bad
this will
publicity.
be a Kirkland's brand copycat.
Yes.
We're 5 poor college students and our
Excuse
poor
me.
dad. Please
You
don't
mean-
sue us.
Kurt
Yes.
Land.
Yes. Yes.
Anyway,
The last time somebody tried to sue me, the lawyer showed up after court, gave me a $20 bill, and said, "Damn." So it was just, they're just like, yeah, dead horse. Get up. Yeah, it's just not.
Oh,
anyway.
All right, so-
redirect.
And my credit's so bad, some places won't take cash. So, hey, where did you get this 20? Okay. So,
is everyone helping me for like hanging out, or are you guys immediately wanting to head out?
Oh, I think we're selling this because I don't think they already know we saw it, and I don't think we're getting a chance to replace it. So I'm pretty sure.
Don't worry about that.
I think we.
I was thinking where Shadow's friend would probably love this mannequin, as we can call it.
I can get the original.
Mannequins. Mannequins.
I can get the original.
so
Well,
just a second.
Negative.
Time. Micah, you do figure it's going to take you another 4 days to
Okay.
get this thing to looking the way you want it to.
Yep.
But you're not sure if the noble has got a different time agenda. So, up to you. Excuse me. So, So, Micah reports that they're about a quarter done with making their thing here. The news is spread that you've been kind of sort of hired for a really, really, really good rate if you'll wander out into the Sea of Dust.
I assume we accept because that's our goal already, and well,
yeah.
I have a wayfinder. I plan on seeing where it goes.
And big focus on nobody knows how we know where we're going. I'm fine with something
I'm
slipping,
very
but
good at finding things.
That's
yes,
true.
yes. We have a very talented scout slash ranger slash I don't know what else we use. What would you prefer your title
This
to
is
be?
why they put me on recon.
Recon, yes.
Recon and force.
Reconnaissance specialist extraordinaire.
And you were on the front lines.
Yes, I was.
Otherwise known as crossbow fodder. All right.
No.
So,
First to be picked.
What's your timeline? Are you sending back a yes to the Meister first of all?
I believe we're in agreement. We got what we wanted.
Are we able to stall for a few days?
I would prefer to not.
Shadow scratches out into the dirt a reminder that the guy didn't necessarily need the contraption. If we just gave him information, he would be willing to pay us more.
I don't know where they're moving it from that warehouse.
Shadow scratches out. I don't care. We just have to give him a location.
Oh, that's true.
Timeline wise.
Oh.
Playing the parties.
Did you want to make that arrangement, Shadow?
Shadow's all about pissing off Laris Nine Fingers, the creepy fuck.
Oh, so you're not going to tell Laris where to find the thing?
So we're gonna tell him where we found it, and we're gonna do it as late as possible, so hopefully by the time he goes to find it, it's been moved.
Okay, go ahead and give me a sharp roll there, Shadow, just to see how that works.
Absolutely.
While they roll...
Can I give a prop for that?
You can certainly try. Go ahead.
While they roll, how long would it take Kirkland... If I left plans, how long would it take Kirkland to finish this thing? Oh, boy.
Longer, but what can happen is this. Kirkland can do the roughing out, like the bigger pieces, getting them in the proper shape and order, and basically make it so whenever you get back, you can take like an afternoon and do all the detail and connection and stuff.
Perfect.
But basically, he'll make the big, what is it, connects or...
Yeah.
You know, he'll make the set and you'll just put it together like a big Lego. Okay.
That'll work.
So, yeah, Shadow. Laris is beside himself with joy over this.
Shadow is so disgusted.
Yes. But, it's a bird face. How disgusted can you look, Violent gag.
The beak is turned up.
Yes. Raw. Oh, gonna make me cough my insects here, buddy. But yes, he throws a bunch of jingle at you. That's going to be a +2 for that prop. Probably going to be probably like 5 more jingle. This is an FYI. All right, so Revan, are you putting back that you're going to accept?
Yes.
Okay, so anybody who wants to go with the runner's going to run off and come back and take you to meet the scouts. You thought it was going to be all big and official. Who's going with them?
Micah would like to follow the runner, but not have it known that they're following the runner.
That's not going to work out good.
Micah, good luck with that.
You need to stay at camp.
So
No,
Stealth is not something you can do right now.
Just trust.
Just
trust.
Trust me, bro.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a go ahead and give me a quick roll, Micah. I know what you're planning.
Yeah, I know.
Go ahead.
I know.
The runner wants us to follow them, though.
Okay. Yeah.
Can I describe it if you give the basis?
I'll set it up if you want to expound on it.
All right.
The runner's like, I'll be right back, and blitzes off, and Micah stands up, walks out the door, turns the corner, and you're all like, what in the heck? Who is, when I say cooler heads prevail, who is the coolest among the remaining 4?
I have a 1.
I've got a 1.
I have a -1.
Not really. And Shadow's busy. So, yeah, one of you is just like, what is Micah doing? And run out to follow him?
I'm going to grab him. He is essentially my charge.
Actually, you're not.
You
don't
are
see
not.
him. You don't see him.
I run out
Alright,
the
we're
door.
gonna track this MF down.
I run out the door.
He doesn't
and,
disappear without telling me where he goes.
and
Not
as
if
I
he
run
wants
out,
to live.
and as I run out the door, it is almost as if I do disappear.
Yeah.
Like as the sunlight hits what should have been my body, my body seemed to just not disintegrate.
For the love of
yeah.
God.
It's like I'm seeing a mirage, I bet.
Sumac, go ahead and give me a cool roll to follow a trail.
Okay.
The light bulb turn invisible.
Did it roll?
Yeah,
Did it roll?
Uh-oh.
I'm not the smartest
I didn't
of
hear it roll.
guys.
I didn't have
But if
like-
you're very
There
There we go.
shiny,
Oh,
So.
you know what? Can I give Sumac a prop?
Only bring it to 8, though.
It's
You'd
not
need
meant to
it.
change
You'd
it.
need a 10 to change it. I would say it might bring it to 9, but it wouldn't bring into 10.
I mean,
Okay,
we could
so-
put it down to 6.
Sumac. It's actually fairly laughably easy to follow Micah's trail. Micah
I think I
is
do get pluses to tracking things too.
yes, but Micah's body is significantly more dense than a mortal's, so leaves fairly sizable footsteps. The problem is, just based on everything you know about this individual, you're only like 120 seconds behind him. But you don't see him. It's gotten really bright up. The sun's hammering just down, and just there's glare off of everything. And you're like footprint, left, right, left, right, and you're like right in front of me. They are right in front of me, and I mean, looking down,
right.
These dusty streets are like, I should be, unless he turned a corner. Oh, he didn't turn it. They didn't turn a corner. A straight line following this. You see the other, like the runner's foot. You can see him. You can see the messenger up like 3 blocks, and you're like,
not only.
anyway.
I'm going to approximate based on where I'm seeing these footprints and start throwing dust in the air.
Oh.
Are you
I can't
familiar?
see it, but I'm hoping I can coat whatever I can't see.
The man sparkles.
Boy. Well, it's pretty. It's pretty. Again, the sand out here, some of it is like the dust stuff from off the sea. Some of it does have a very, no offense, does have a very high mica content. So you throw up a handful of dust and you've basically turned on your high beams in a snowstorm. Okay, it is catching all of the light. So you've made a minor little dust screen here that momentarily throws you off.
So is all of my light hitting the dust, but it just doesn't.
Well,
it doesn't reveal me, but all of the light that I'm emanating is still hitting the dust.
It's just like it's a really bright day.
Okay.
It's hard to identify a source. It's just
you've been
really, really bright.
inside for too long, and suddenly you take a step outside on a
Exactly.
snowy day, and there's just so much glare.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
am
Oh,
not
gotcha.
stopping it until I figure out what the hell is going on here. So, plan B. Does Micah smell any particular way compared to other metal that I would know of?
We'll
Mr.
spend a lot of time
Rocks.
sniffing them.
Why?
Micah, real quick, Micah, do you give off a heat profile?
I assume so.
Doesn't
assuming I
Micah
give
have
off-
like the blaze in
I
their
literally
chest?
like I have a blaze in in my body, so it would make sense if I gave off a heat profile.
Okay.
But I'm not so much a smell, not like pheromones or anything.
Point of fact, Sumac, Sidewinder is a pit viper.
Oh, that's
Good
true.
point.
They hunt by infrared.
I'm
So,
gonna whistle rather loudly.
Yeah, when you glance over, Sidewinder is tracking something very
Rattlesnakes are pit
obviously.
vipers.
Yeah, it's tracking something very obviously, and you're like, oh, it's triangulation. Yeah, it's right over there. Okay, yeah. So yeah.
Gonna follow him.
Yeah. So, Sidewinder follows Micah. Micah follows the messenger. The messenger goes into an unassuming building. Unless you follow them right in there, Micah.
I do not. I do not do that.
Yeah.
That is not a good idea.
The messenger comes out, takes one look at Sidewinder, and screams, slam up against the wall. Whatever it is I'm doing, I'll stop. Oh my gosh. Please make it go away. Please make it go away. Please make it go away. Please make it go away.
It won't eat you unless I tell it to.
Micah's gonna go up in front of the person and boop their nose.
Okay. Well, he's given an offering of water to the goddess of light. Probably about 12 ounces. Yeah. He Just flap the robe, buddy. It'll dry out. It's a hot day. It'll dry out here any minute. That's fine. Stay downwind. Yeah. So you absolutely horrified a messenger, who was supposed to lead you to the scout.
Through the doorway? Can Micah see anything that would be like suspicious or lead them to believe that like maybe they were telling somebody like more sketchy than what was kind of implied?
Micah, reveal yourself before I pin you down.
What I'm looking for is, does this look like a place with the kind of people they described, like for the clean? Like, does this look like a clean building, or? Yeah,
probably.
Okay.
It's another one of these like warehouse sections. It's like the guard post on the front of a warehouse.
Okay. The messenger didn't run off to some other third party that we didn't know about.
No, not that you know of.
Ooh.
All right. Whoops.
2 things. We are getting close to bio break time. And I've also been threatened by a viewer that we need to let Owen make more dad jokes, or else I will suffer horrible puns.
You don't know what you're doing, okay? I can't.
I'm all for having you suffer puns.
I can't use this power for good. Can I tell you the best thing though? Okay, so Kiddo got me a bad dad joke of the day calendar.
Oh no!
I know the one for my birthday this year. Okay, I swear to God this is true, I can show it to you. The one for my birthday said, for my birthday this year, a friend gave me a broken drum. You can't beat that.
That's pretty good. I like that one.
Here's the thing, I prefer it if we all have to suffer through these than if I get tortured by one person with these.
I see. But my wife was like, wait, you were a drummer. I'm like, yeah, I know. And it's a horrible joke. I said, yeah, I know. And it was on your birthday. I'm like, yeah, I know. This is amazing. So
anyway, after look kind of like peeking into the warehouse just to make sure that the runner did go where they said they were going to, Micah's gonna hop on top of Sidewinder's like back and just kind of pet them.
Does your relationship with Sidewinder support that?
I don't know. We're gonna find out.
I'm just saying he has a very warm heat in his chest.
I mean,
and generally,
I'm just saying, Sidewinder a long time.
Reptiles tend to like warm rocks.
Constrictor, but he does know how to guard, and there's something very nice and warm in his midst. He's gonna kind of curl around it.
Oh!
Reptiles do tend to like warm rocks.
See, yeah, I know. Now I'm thinking that more than one Sumac has like woken up and like Sidewinder's like all cuddled with, ooh, cold night, ooh, oh, you're so warm, ooh, you know.
Sidewinder went to hang out with Micah instead.
Right. All right. So, because you demanded it, here is a RPG pun. Did you hear that Strahd from Ravenloft took a few levels in Bard? I hear he went from bat to verse. Hey, who's your favorite Muppet? Oh, I think the vampire from Sesame Street. He doesn't count.
Can we have
I
that
assure
break
you he
now?
does. I assure you he does. All right, with that. All right,
I'm not even paying attention to Owen. I'm paying attention to Hunter's face.
Me too. We only do this for that look, by the way. That we know they're not funny, Hunter. We know it's we. Oops.
In solidarity, we have to
Yes.
suffer together.
Yay! All right,
We
so we're gonna
suffer
take a bio.
together.
Going to take a bio. We're also going to convene offline here, folks, so we can judge some time frames going forward. But we're currently on track for the remainder of the evening, and we will see you in what do you want to call it? 5 minutes?
Yeah,
Okay.
5.
5:10.
Cool. See you in a bit. Hey, folks. Thanks for waiting. Sorry about that. Had a minor dog issue. She's fine. She's fine. She's very sweet. She just loves me. All right. So, yeah. Next up, you're going to be meeting with the, with Master Scout Treda. Treda is this tiny little stick of beef jerky of a person. Indeterminate heritage. Just again, sun-beaten, weathered, just full hood, sand goggles that they sometimes slide down so you can see these deep blue eyes.
Generally human-shaped?
Generally human-shaped, yeah. I mean, if you had to guess, probably mostly human, could be. Anyway, people are very friendly nowadays, especially the ones that can actually, breed. Anyway, so Treda has been doing this for a very, very long time. Brings you in. How many? All right, 5 of you. All right, great. So some things you're going to need. Boy, can you turn that off, Haas? That's bright. Is this? Do we need something for glowy McGlowy pants?
Is this still outside?
You figured out a way to get out of Sidewinder?
Oh, is Sidewinder actually just wrapped around me?
Curled around you, yeah.
Yeah, no. I'm
Okay.
at some point, like, I imagine Sidewinder was like wrapped around me and just kind of slithering back. We would like have gone like inside or under shade or something, and I would have gone from not being able to be seen to fully visible very quickly. And yeah, no, I have no way to get out. But it's Cuddles, so I don't really care.
To cut to the chase, you're now in the meeting with the Master Scout. All right, so sorry about that. That was fun, but
Are all of us there, or is it just those two?
it's all y'all. It's all y'all.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so you're in yet another warehouse space. This one's set up for outfitting various expeditions. So you're going to need dust visors. You're going to need, breathing support to keep the dust out of your nostrils. You're going to need sunshade. You're going to need a lot of water. You're going to need travel rations. You're going to need dust shoes, which are basically snowshoes for dust. Because again, solid ground out there, it's kind of a committee meeting as opposed to what you're used to. One of his other scouts, she's a little halfling. She puts her head together with Sumac to talk about signs of things like it's not quite quicksand, but it's like quick dust. These depressions fill up with really, really fine particulate, and you can go down into it and it'll suffocate you. So you're familiar with some of those things, but she points them out. Her name is Flick. And so, let's see. The halfling. So, basically, they get you set up with clothing and tents and things like that. That are designed to keep the dust on the one side and everything else on the other. Again, keeps looking at Micah. Hey, no offense. Do you breathe?
I have to double check. I do not believe I do. I do not, no.
Okay. And it doesn't seem like you got any problem with bright light.
Sometimes it gives me a headache just right behind my eye and everything. But no, overall no.
Huh.
Hey, you're that fella who's working with the blacksmith?
I am.
Yeah. Yeah, Kirkman's got a few nice things to say about you.
I just wished I wish to see the Queen's Forge and the Kirkland brand, all over the place.
Yeah. So
all hail the Light Queen.
Yeah. Likely. Yeah. All right. Do you all have any idea where you're going? There's an hell of a lot of nothing out there. Again, landmarks are pretty easy to spot unless the haze is up, and if you got any wind at all, you're gonna have zero visibility. Dust.
I'm pretty good at finding
For-
things.
Yes.
That's what I hear.
Not only do we have reconnaissance extraordinaire, we also have the epitome of fantastic luck.
Dust
What
does
he
not bother.
means
No,
is we
no
have
offense.
a mixture of divine and magical capabilities.
That too. Many blessings from above or below.
Right.
We don't differentiate.
No, I'll take blessings.
Okay.
For
No.
clarification,
No offense, y'all might want to make your affairs in order, get all the paperwork signed before you. I mean, worse things happen. Clarification there, Sumac.
given that Sidewinder is a snake and is designed kind of to not fall into loose, small particulates, would he have any issue with the dust?
Probably not. Probably not.
Kind of what I figured. He'd probably be able to slither just fine.
Yeah, low center of gravity, and he can spread out his weight. Yeah, no problem at all. I mean, not perfect for this kind of a thing, but the closest thing to it in a natural or semi-natural creature.
Not necessarily with walking, but like the dust in the air, like with the blinding and everything. Is Micah gonna have a problem with that?
You're not going to have any problem, but
Like vision.
So, yeah,
But
but other people. By the way, this is a historical fact. If you want, like Renaissance, medieval period sunglasses, a loop of lace around your face. Black is best, but dark is good, and it cuts down on dust, and it also cuts down on glare. It's like wearing a pair of sunglasses. I've done it out at Ren fairs. It makes you look odd, but again, you don't have a headache at the end of the day.
Oh,
Yeah,
there's
so
somewhere.
yeah,
Quick
so there's
question. Well, a few of our company are meant for the sand and the sun. What does the sea of dust do to feathers? Sorry about the shadow.
I mean, birds take dust baths.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not seeing any.
Shadow promptly begins rolling in the dust on the ground.
Yeah. That. I mean, no offense. That isn't for parasites, is it? I just cleaned.
No, not at all.
Got it.
Clean.
Yeah. Clean. Yeah, you will still need some sort of eye protection, probably. And maybe some sort of gauze to cover your nostrils. But yeah, no, the clean has, as one of their minor advantages, the clean is extremely cosmopolitan. So you might walk out of there looking like a plague doctor, but again, you'll be able to breathe out in the dust.
Like it could make me any scarier.
Yeah. All right. So, you're outfitted. Sumac, the question from them is how long you think you're going to be out there. Because again, all of a sudden weight starts to be a consideration if you're packing in all the water.
I have skirted the dust before, but I've never really ventured into it. Is my understanding?
Correct.
Here or there. It's a very big area.
I have +1 forward to determining anything with the compass. Can I try to estimate how far from its target it is?
I want to say we already did that last week.
We did. I don't know if I
Determine the
may have
direction
written
it
it down.
pointed, not how far it.
No, I think we did both because based off of how strong
right.
the kinetic
Tell
or
me
whatever.
Hold on.
It was
It's on
a-
the day's march.
It was
I
2
did
days.
write this down. It was anywhere between half a day's march to a 2 days march, and that was factoring in the amount of sand and trying to navigate the dust rolls or whatever the fuck. we call it.
Revan, give me a sharp roll, please.
Okay.
Okay, easy.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Revan has the idea, since this is direction only, if you could get an escort even a half days away from this this settlement, you could triangulate real easy.
Math. So I'd have to go out and guesstimate from outside. I'm assuming. Yeah,
You would have to get a sizable distance from wherever you're at, either north, south, or east, west, preferably both. Preferably both. Right, because then again, you take a peek at that and go, well, like on the map now, it's like this. If over, you get halfway to Iron Gate and it's like that, well, you've got a really good cross indicator kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, if you wanted to talk them into that, since you're not all the way in good, but you're pretty in good, you might be able to.
I will actually. So then to the scout leader. I believe I have some sort of. I can feel something in there, and with that, I will, do a little precipitation, shimmering across my eyes, and do a moment of, yes, I'm definitely doing some weird magic thing.
Hey, folks, time out. Everybody, repeat after me. Press. Here.
Prestidigitation.
Tay. Sean. Prestidigitation.
Prestidigitation.
Pepperoni sauce. Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Anyway.
All right. Sorry. I can't say the word. I can't even remember it now. We'll bump into it, and you'll be like, "That's
you
the
also
word.
can't remember the word."
Yes. Who said that? All right.
But,
so
to get the exact distance of what I'm seeking, I'll need another vantage point too, and then I will proceed to try to as much data overload as possible. Triangulate the angles in order to find the exact distance into the Sea of Dust in order to best estimate the amount of travel distance, so then we can figure out the amount of resources it would take to get to said location.
Blick says, so you need to triangulate?
Yes.
Pure trigonometry. Stay in school, boys and girls, and theys and thems.
Yes. Okay, yeah, that can be arranged. Well, we do have a fully loaded caravan headed back toward the barn tomorrow. What we can do is just schlep you along with us, and when you get a good fix and have a idea of how far it's going to be there and back plus whatever time, we can just hand you bags and buckets and send you on your way. Does that work?
Perfect.
Great. All right, we're leaving about I'm going to say like an hour after dawn. So if you need anything else prepped, yeah. Anything else special y'all need? Something I'm not thinking of? All right, see you an hour after dawn. Have a good breakfast. Most important meal of the day.
Thank you, my Tretta.
As Tretta walks away, you see that Shadow is hastily scribbling out a pile of jingle for additional things they may need.
Oh.
They never, they don't get to show it to Tretta at any point, but they're...
Yeah.
I would be interested in, if possible, polished pieces of metal. Things we could carry on possibly as mirrors or as to create a reflection of sorts. Or
Did you say my shield? Wow.
I will.
That thing is dirty and blood.
Oh no! It is extremely clean and quite shiny and rather ornate.
On one side.
No,
on the exterior side, yes.
No, Urkthor treats this shield like a knight would treat their horse. It gets polished before anything else happens. Oh, aren't you hungry? I've got to polish my shield. There's some dirt.
When Shadow's bored, they tell Urkthor his shield is dirty just to watch him get up and up about it.
Yeah.
Actually, you have a little knife that I like to steal sometimes. When was the last time I tried to steal that knife?
Leave it.
So,
Mine.
Sumac, a brief conversation with Micah, and you could have a double handful of shiny objects.
Boons.
Yeah.
So my ideology on this one is if
You're in the Matrix,
complete-
dude. There is no spoon. What?
a complete haze is going to block out any vision anyway, but if it gets slightly hazy, you got something that catches sun, you'll be able to see reflections, at least from a decent distance.
Interesting.
But
At least that's my thought on it. If it's redirecting light and focusing it, it's going to be a lot easier to see than a non-light reflecting person, unless it's Micah.
I was gonna say Micah will just focus their hands.
My beloved DM, I would love to make a roll to try and steal Urkthor's knife that I haven't
ahead.
stolen for a few days.
Go ahead.
Is that... Am I rolling quick?
That's a quick.
Is this an opposed check?
No.
I'm thinking like burnished mirror or something like that. Pieces of metal.
What am I working
Okay.
with?
And I
Okay.
hand it to everybody but
So-
Micah. Try to catch
So-
the light with this if you find yourself lost from the group.
Set this up for me, Shadow. When would you have made this attempt?
As he's pulling out his shield and is trying to focus on showing it off, Shadow is like slunk up, has gotten up from their dust bath, has slunk up behind him, and is like making a slow grab into his pocket.
Right. Unfortunately, he turns suddenly, zigs when he should have zags, and let's just say you make eye contact, and you have a choice here, Shadow. Do you really want to know Urkthor this well? Okay? Do you really? And Urkthor's looking down, and you're like, I mean, I've never thought of you that way, Shadow. I just, featherless is the only thing I've known, but I could change. I could grow as a person. So let's just say
Not
no.
you, babe. It's me.
Yes, it's no.
Nothing
it's not,
interesting.
Yes,
It's
yeah,
not me. It's entirely you.
Yes. So
It's 100% you.
Urkthor's like, you were going for my dagger again.
Yeah.
You get a little...
This isn't a. We don't have to sleep in different tents. This is not a.
You know how little kids do the no? Like, Shadow is very much doing that with their head.
My favorite is the little girl who stole her mom's phone. I can't remember. It's like Kayla. Kayla? Yes. Did you take mommy's phone? No, absolutely. And then it's obvious that she's got it, and she lets out this absolute goblin cackle. Just maniacally, 2-year-old, it's just the best sound ever. I'll try to find it. Anyway.
You get a cackle out of Shadow that sounds uncomfortably similar to the sound they make when they're choking down a worm, and then they scramble off to go hide behind Revan.
Okay.
So we're not leaving till the morning, correct?
Right.
Tomorrow morning.
Correct. Any preparations you need to make?
Well, I have very important business.
That's true. I can just steal shiny metal pieces from the bird. I don't need to go buy it.
Jingle, right?
The bird flips you off.
Who's we?
Well,
The bird argue with the snake.
Shadow, I did help you with your plan with the other man. How about we go have some fun at the bars? Where we're going out on a journey. What good
Happy
journey
bird.
doesn't start with a few drinks.
Very happy bird.
Okay.
Micah would like to join along.
Are we shooting for a good time was had by all, a good time was had by some, or blast
Everyone woke up
radius?
in places they shouldn't have
Well,
woken up in.
obviously, a
Are we
good time is
talking-
being tried to be had by all.
Enjoys bringing
but
her pet to the gambling table. She seems to win more when
I
that
have
happens.
always
People think-
struggled with a long night at the bar because there's usually a lot of occurrences that happen by accident while in an active bar where people are being jolly and merry, and I tend to attract some of the less fortunate events of the evening. But nevertheless,
I just
Yeah.
imagine Sumac being at a poker
Alright.
table. It's like, it's crazy. My opponent had a royal flush, then Sidewinder came up, and they just folded. Just right
Okay.
there.
Okay, so
Oh no!
anybody who just wants to carouse and have a good time, I mean, everybody except Shadow, of course. Just go ahead and give me a tough roll. See how you made it through the evening.
Are you suggesting that Shadow doesn't drink?
No, I'm suggesting I have specific plans for you.
Shadow stays sober for good reasons.
Oh, dang it! Dang
my-
it!
My roll's
Yeah.
not going through.
yeah. Good luck
Were you
with that.
trying to get the bird drunk?
No,
Anything
no,
they
no,
make can't be
I'm
worse than
looking
the
at my
cactus juice.
own way too high of a roll.
Okay.
Yeah,
My-
that was a nice rookie number there.
I'm trying to roll.
50.
Okay.
Hunter, oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh,
All
There
right.
we go. Okay, there's my roll. I would like to use my my hold that I have to make that 7 a 6.
Which 7?
The only 7 there.
Oh,
Excuse me?
Okay. Now we're delving into power stunts here. You can use your +1 as a +1 on one of your rolls. unless
So,
damn it.
otherwise
so
specified.
throughout the
Okay.
night, I'm going to try to drop our companion's roll here by keep giving them more things to drink as we go.
Okay.
Oh,
So can I,
Micah.
Couple
Proper
things.
drop for Sumac.
Couple things. All right. First of all, Urkthor, you basically shut down the tavern by the end of the night. You're just, hey, say, hey, if everybody else is drinking water, I guess I should too. Ha ha ha. Glork, throwing down this and that. Yeah, Revan is almost matching you shot for shot, basically. Who knew? A lot of noble parties boiled down to let's just break out the vodka and see who really wants to do some business. Sumac, maybe it's I don't know. Maybe you haven't had enough water recently. Maybe you're just a little dehydrated. You're soaking up this stuff. Oh, that's what it is. They've got a prickly pear brandy.
Oh.
They've got a prickly, and it's just light, and it's delicate, and it's beautiful, and I can't feel my legs. And mommy, take me to the circus. Where are we? Okay. So you're not 3 sheets to the wind and running before a gale, but you're having a really good. You got Sidewinder in a headlock. Come here, I just love you. Who loves you? I love you so much.
Everybody immediately takes a couple steps back.
Yeah. I'm cold-blooded and I'm creeped out. Thank you. Mika, something in this stuff is really messing with your system.
I am on the bar,
Yeah.
spinning around in a circle, screaming, "I'm a disco ball."
Yes.
wait, what is that?
I am a golden god. Yes.
Shiny.
Light Queen!
Yes.
They start putting little circles on you so it makes shapes on the wall while you spin.
Light Queen!
You
Oh my gosh.
are the light queen.
Yes. In the velvet darkness. Yeah, that leads us to Shadow. Shadow, on this particular idea, are you playing to win or playing to lose? Your call.
Oh, I'm playing to
Playing to lose? Okay.
Oh, I'm playing to lose. I'm playing to lose.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a cool roll, please.
Will absolutely give you a cool roll. Oh boy.
Okay.
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 Can everybody still hear me? Okay. You do encourage, just by word and deed and action and example, you encourage literally everybody in this little bar to do just the dumbest things. Okay. So this is entertaining as hell. You keep like getting people to go ask Urkthor about the battle of the red gap, and he's like, yes, and then it's and he keeps starting over. It's oh no, I just started. No,
Shut up. We've already heard that twice.
you really need to hear it from the beginning though, because there's some context, there's some backstory, right? And you're just egging everybody on in this. Now, this is a wild night. Everybody has a blast. This will be remembered forever. Unfortunately, you spend every last. Give me a D6 there, Shadow.
Oh no. Four.
Okay, 4.
Okay.
You end up with only 4 jingle left, and the only reason is because you forgot you had it. You like stuck it. This was like your stash of stashes, and you stuck it in with Pilot's ring. And
That's
you, like,
10 jingle. That was 10 jingle.
It was actually closer to 15, and it's gone. So you're sitting on 4, but everybody, if you wanted to cement your legacy in this little town, you have. All right. So because you were drinking the good stuff, nobody's particularly hungover, though you do have to drag Micah into the light to catch a few rays before he's able to sit up and move. But an hour after breakfast, you're all on the road. You figure you can do that triangulation a little ways up the way. They do stop you on the route. About here is where they said where they said they found that other created. So if you wanted, you've got some distance from East Haven. If you wanted to try that, triangulation,
Yeah.
you've got some sketches and maps that are fairly accurate.
Don't mind that. I keep accidentally clicking things instead of seeing what they're actually supposed to do.
Yeah, I'd like to.
No worries.
Would that be a sharp roll, or am I just able to do it? Or...
You're just able to do it. This
Okay.
one goes like the original was just east of north.
Okay.
So, if can any of you draw on this thing?
May
Yes.
have?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
That's kind
So
of...
don't go berserk. All right, but this is the one. So
How do I-
yeah,
It's mostly there.
that blue line is fairly close. The blue, let's just say the blue line is there. From here, it goes like that.
Well, we're not even gonna draw the line. We're just gonna go.
This one, get rid of our shapes.
Yeah, I don't know how to get rid of it.
I
Control
can
Z.
I can get rid of them. Yeah, if somebody wants to, I'll mark that spot. So it's right there. Okay, perfect. So let me,
That's the far side. Okay.
yeah, it's not great. Let's see. How about a little red circle? What do you think? Right about there. All right. So, clickety click, clickety click, clickety click. Is it going to let me erase those? It is. Teehee. All right. So, yeah, somewhere in that general vicinity. Sumac, an immediate thought would be maybe go around a little bit till you were a little closer to that. The only problem is this is like Badland. So you might be going miles and miles and miles out of your way to find an approach to the sea. The only advantage over here is there's some like gentle rolling hills that lead into it. So at least it would be a straight shot, and you're pretty sure you know where you're headed, especially if you're following the little doodad. So up to you.
Okay.
Sumac is
I don't have
familiar
issues
with
with wastelands, but I have to consider others who will be trudging behind me.
Beautiful. Hey, Sumac, do you have any travel trackless wastes advantages?
I'm pretty sure I do.
Go ahead and take a peek.
It sounds like a hazard thing. First time we've used it, though.
One of the,
Let's see what we got.
I think one of the advances lets you take 2 rolls.
I don't have that yet, but I do have a travel trackless wastes thing.
Automatically
I don't
succeed.
have the take 2 jobs one.
But you do have the automatically succeed one.
I don't. If that is a
Might be a background thing.
level up thing, I do not have it.
Okay, might be a background thing. Okay, cool.
Might be.
So you all are going to need to travel some trackless wastes. These are going to be cool rolls, so pick appropriately. You've got a quartermaster who's going to be in charge of food, drink, etc. You've got a trailblazer to get you from point A to point B expeditiously, and you've got a scout. If you roll well on quartermaster, you use less rations and water. If you roll well on trailblazer, you get there a little faster. If you roll well on scout, you either don't run into any problems or see the problems before they ambush you. And the other lower rolls can be left as a exercise to the student. So, the name of the game is Cool. Sumac, since you're the Meister Scout of this situation, which role do you want to take?
In this case, I will probably go scout. I
Gotcha.
don't trust anybody's eyes or senses as much as I do mine.
Excellent. So, who's volunteering for Trailblazer and Quartermaster?
Well,
Excuse me.
you said these are cool roles, correct?
Correcto.
I think I naturally fit in as a trailblazing position.
Beautiful. Anybody else?
I'll do the rations.
Okay. Beautiful.
What's your cool?
1.
One? Okay.
I wanted to be in charge of the water.
Oh, stop.
No.
I have
Robin,
this, I
Robin,
have this
thank you for fun.
wonderful spell called Desecrate.
Micah doesn't drink water or eat the food. They eat metal, so like them in charge of the rations.
It's
Do you
fine.
eat it, or do you just shove it into your furnace?
I kind of shove it into my furnace.
It's fine.
I
Desecrate.
don't-
I need
No.
coal. I need something I can burn. I need to
Don't.
eat something that I can burn.
Nope.
Oxidize is slightly more accurate. All right. So, yeah.
Oh, and just
All
for
right.
clarification, Desecrate just make something unholy. It does technically purify any mundane spoilage or contaminants.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it just adds Granny's spice and doesn't actually ruin all of the food.
Ah.
Is
Can
there?
you imagine someone hands you an unholy turkey leg and you have to sit there for a minute and figure out what the fuck that means?
Okay.
Is there a? Is it just a flat cool roll that we're doing?
So go ahead, Urkthor. Awesome. You get there in about as much time as you think. You're quarterman. Oh no, you're
I'm
trailblazer.
trailblazing.
Okay. So actually, you can all roll the travel trackless wastes.
Oh.
That's a move that's out there. But Urkthor, you've got a 9, unless you want to risk it.
Nope.
Sumac,
Oh, there it goes.
there you go.
Okay, that second one doesn't count though.
Okay, so no one gets the drop on you out there, Sumac. So that's not a problem. And then Micah, you use about as much food and water as a group as you'd expect. So works out to 2 days, 2 days out. So everybody who eats, mark 2 rations. Everybody who drinks, mark 2 water. And when you had figured that out, everybody who again uses them, they figured 5 days.
Okay.
2 days to get wherever you're going, 2 days to get back, a day to schmy around out there, or run like hell if that was required.
Wait, did they give us additional rations and water?
Yes. You all.
How many additional?
So we all have an extra 5 rations and 5 water.
Correct. Thank you.
And then we remove 2.
All right. How much weight is
Add
that?
3.
5 uses of food is 1 weight. 5 uses of water is 2.
Okay.
So. All right.
Don't pay attention to that.
Gotcha. So, you see a whole hell of a lot of nothing. Sumac's like, yeah, I told you. Though, Sumac, when you were just getting into the sea, you did see some signs of oversized scorpions. And Sumac lets you know they are ambush hunters, and they track by vibration, so that little invisibility thing wouldn't help you much, boss.
They're also quite crunchy.
Yes, crunchy and tasty and good with ketchup. All right,
Can Sidewinder counter ambush?
Yes. Ambush and counter ambush, probably. Yeah, if you want to get out there and wiggle, if you want to be bait. Yeah. The problem with bait is once you've been used as bait, you're usually not good for anything else. So, anyway. All right, so you make it. You think you're approaching the site. You've seen a lot of dust. You had a few missteps, not too bad. Sumac, you were able to identify a few of those travel hazards that you didn't have first-hand experience with. Just 1 second, Micah.
Like the quick dust?
Quick dust. You did have some sun haze that was bad, but again, the gear helped you out with it. A couple of times you just kind of put Micah in front and said, just keep heading that direction and we'll just put hands on your shoulders and go that way. So
I'd Sidewinder sniff out anybody else by heat signature in case they strayed.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, you said there's nothing here, right? So at nighttime, did I just light up the entire desert?
Yes, you look like a fallen star sitting on, okay. Yeah, and that would have creeped out Sumac so very, very, very much. They probably covered you with suitable things and then buried you just to keep
Sidewinder was told to curl up on top of me.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it made more sense to travel at night and sleep during the day, or is this a colder desert?
It's not even a desert. It's just dust.
Okay.
So it's temperate. Again, I say temperate. There's not a whole
Things
lot of
that want
water.
to eat you like to
Yeah.
travel at night.
Yeah.
I'm just saying there's different types of deserts, and some of them are warm and some of them are cold.
Yeah.
You're an expert on deserts now.
No. This is just outside of conversation thing. Well, outside of game.
Trivia question, Hunter.
Character.
Based sheerly on humidity and precipitation, what is the driest desert on Earth?
Isn't it the Antarctic?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So makes the Sahara look like a garden in comparison. All right. So, you think you're approaching the location? Your little compass is going from z to z. And again, that's more of a visual. It doesn't really make any noise. But it's a fat blue spark now that's usually on as opposed to intermittent. So you're getting close. There's dunes. There's lots and lots of dunes. It's the nature of any particulate where the bigger ones go to the bottom and the little ones go to the top, but there are some stuff. Sumac, you're ranging out ahead when you think you spot some sort of structure out on the plain ahead of you. The rest of the group is behind this rise, and you're cautious by nature and have clothing of the appropriate color. But
Don't need the clothing. I just kind of fade into whatever's around when I'm not moving.
yeah, so
It's just Sidewinder.
yeah, so there's some sort of structure, or it's not small. It's not.
Does this thing seem new, or as if it has seen a giant nuke-type weapon?
Well, you tell me. You have literally not seen... Back in the bad old days, they would say things like, I want you to destroy this city. Boss, you said destroy. What does that mean? I don't want two stones standing on each other. Oh, destroy the city. Okay, yeah, like capital D. Got it. Destroy the city. You have not seen any two stones on top of each other. You do find like rubble and remnants and things like that. You might have found things, occasionally, like a wall, like a really old, well-built wall, poking up out of the sand. But it's fragmentary. Maybe you stop there, rigged up a tarp in a triangle to catch a little shade in the middle of the day. But this is, well, even from a distance, you can see signs of like movement. So what you got?
I can see movement.
Is this all of us here, or is this just...
That's me.
Currently, it's just
Scouting
Sumac.
ahead.
Yeah, Sumac is really good at that. So, you're seeing...
Is Sidewinder twitching at all? Is there heat coming off of this area?
You're talking still miles away at this point.
Okay.
Because
very far in the distance.
Yeah, the first thing you noticed was what looked like guard towers.
Okay.
The second thing
things are moving.
Yes. The second thing you noticed is the fence. There's a fence or a wall that's catching the light very oddly. The third thing you noticed was a little plume of dust moving near this thing. And just the way the dust moves, it goes this way, and then slows down, and then goes like this. And then the dust goes this way, and slows down and goes like this.
I want you to know that half of what you're doing with your hand, we can't see.
Oh, sorry. Basically, it tracks, sort of slows at a certain point, and then slowly tracks back the other way, and then slowly tracks back the other way. It
seems very methodical.
Yeah, something's in a pattern. You're a little too far away to see, and this is when the rest of the group catches up with you. Sumac's like belly down on this dune, looking out with Snakehead. Keep an eye. Yeah. So from here, all of you can see what looks, for all the world, like some sort of fenced-in compound. The sharper-eyed among you can see what obviously looks like watchtowers or guard towers. and there seems to be a large building, like the size of a barn, maybe bigger, in there.
Is that thing that's going back and forth the only thing I see moving?
Give me an observe.
Okay.
While that is happening, can I get Pilate to be?
You're gonna spark up Pilate.
Yeah, because I realized that this spell doesn't require concentration, so I'm just gonna have him here.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and give me a spell roll, please.
Yep.
Shadow pulls Pilot's ring out, and they like keep their finger wrapped around it. They're holding it very tightly so it doesn't get lost.
Ooh.
Do you want to burn that +1 now, Revan?
I don't. Wait, do I have a +1?
Yeah, you were sitting on a +1 for
Oh,
following
right.
up.
Yeah, I'll burn the +1 to not have a
Okay.
6.
Okay. So, are you going to lose the spell until you get a chance to rest? Do you want to draw on 1 with attention? Do you want to be -1 on going to all spell casting? Or do you want
we're
something
gonna have
interesting?
some fun. I'm gonna something interesting, or drawing attention.
Okay, beautiful. Okay, so yeah.
Oh, great.
Now crouched next to you in the burning light is Pilate.
As soon as he's out, the ring is back, locked onto my armor.
Gotcha. Where are we?
Welcome to the wastes. This is the sand of dust.
The
Sorry, sea of dust.
Dusty.
Sorry. The sand of
That
dust. Sea
kingdom
of
you
dust.
spoke of,
Yes.
as it looks now.
He of
Found
dust.
an output.
Quite accurate an assessment, I would have to say. So what's that?
Where this wayfinder leads to.
Is that actually where the Wayfinder leads to? What is?
It's pointing. Yeah, it's pointing directly at this compound.
Okay.
And Pilate glances at it. What information do we have about this place?
Uh-oh.
It doesn't look entirely deserted.
Actively moving. Can I use my observe roll now?
Yeah.
Okay.
One question.
Let's see quickly. How is that thing in the sand weak or vulnerable?
How is it weak or vulnerable?
That's one of my special questions.
Yes. Okay. Well, it's a location. All right.
I was saying
so-
the thing that's specifically moving back and forth.
Oh, the thing that's moving. Well, you don't really have an
Thing
eyeball.
that seems to possibly be an active threat, whatever it is.
Gotcha. Well, Pilate mentioned that it looks like a patrol. If you kind of look, it feels like it's going around. And now that you get a closer look at it, yes, there's a group of some ones or some things that's doing a patrol around the perimeter of this place. So how are they weak or vulnerable? Once you figure out how fast they're moving and where they're going to be, you can be on the opposite side of the structure if you wanted to go up, over, or under that wall. So let me give you a little mappage here to go with it.
I can get the timing for it and slip past if I wanted to.
We can just
yeah.
go say hi.
So a little bit of fog of war reveal here.
Shovel is friendly enough.
You've got the guard towers are in green at the corners of this long fence type thing. From your side, you think you're seeing a gate, a sizable gate in the fence. That's the black mark there. Green is the guard towers. and then you're seeing above the height of the wall is not particularly huge. So that's like a 2 or 3 story building in red. It's not really red, but for our purposes. And you're actually approaching from, that's a north-south designation. You're actually approaching from the mostly the south. So this corner is actually closest to you.
Okay.
So can everybody see that on their map?
On my map?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, beautiful. So yeah, again, there doesn't seem to be any variation in that patrol. It looks vaguely mechanical.
Can anyone tell me? I can't quite see it in the sand and in this dust. Can anyone else tell me what is that gates and walls made out of?
Yeah, what are they rough? What does it look like?
Hard to say. They're catching the light strangely. Not really. I mean, it kind of looks like some sort of block construction.
Does it look physical?
Oh yeah. It's casting shadows and whatnot.
Cool. Does it look solid?
Does it look like we could spoon our way through, like prison tunnel?
Excuse me.
Again,
We do not spoon through walls here.
You're enough of a distance away that you can't really identify the material. Anybody who's Sumak's like, I don't know what that is. That doesn't look like rock. That doesn't look like metal.
Do we want to
Is it
scout?
moon pieces? Ooh.
Ooh. Do we want
It
to
does
scout?
catch the light.
Well,
Be good to
catch
take a
it.
look around.
there
Sumac.
So
Micah's
Micah,
dead siblings turned into like a structure.
Micah, are you offering to go scout?
Oh no. I mean, me and one other person, me and Sumac could go.
Oh, I was excited to go see.
Time of day is it?
That is a good question. What time of day is it?
It's just it's actually fairly early morning on day 3. So as the sun is rising, preparing to beat down on you like a dwarven forge hammer, that's part of that lets you see this place clearly. It's throwing really long shadows. The towers, whether they're guard towers or not, they go up 40, 50 feet probably. You're estimating. If that's like a generally, mortal-sized wall, then okay. But they're casting really, really long shadows.
Shadow
Across.
may be a better bet here because it's not bright enough for Micah to have
Yep.
invisibility, I believe.
Correct.
As long as if any of those shadows were to touch me, it would.
The
Completely
bird
wrong.
slowly turns to look at Sumac.
We could just.
You don't hide, not in this desert.
We could just
Oh,
go up
quick.
there.
Quick!
Sumac, counterpoint. Do you want me to create a distraction? Which I don't think you do.
Uh-oh.
Why are we
Ooh.
sneaking?
You just don't see her anymore.
Pilate is looking around. Master Revan, do we know who's holding this place?
I would assume it's Shovel, because that's where the compass was leading back to.
Are these robots or are these nomads?
Oh, Shadow knows Pilot's code. I have it memorized and added to my vocabulary list. I can walk up to any of them and just spout off that code and make friends.
Also,
If those are
Pilot can.
the
So can
machines holding the settlement and not just some wandering nomad tribe.
Well, if it's a nomad tribe, we just Wait, why would there be a nomad tribe?
Would a
in the
nomad
middle of
tribe
the
be
dust?
patrolling so nicely?
Why not?
Also, you're assuming that it's Pilate's. It would be
Yeah.
a friend of Pilate.
Well,
But we know that
Meantime-
Shovel
was.
came from the same place,
Yeah.
and
Pause.
Shovel
We
responded
shall-
to Pilot's code
We know
base.
Pause.
Shovel wasn't an enemy.
Pause. Sounds
Sorry,
like there
Dad.
needs to be a little bit of table talk. So what happens is, Sumac sets Sidewinder to guard, and you all come down for a quick conclave. If you want Pilot's input, let me know. So, once around, thoughts?
I think we need a better look at the settlement because we are making assumptions of who is holding the settlement as well as things like walls and materials and yada yada yada
I'm
yada.
gonna slip in through the timing I've discovered to go take a closer look. But I'm the
Well-
only one who can reliably hide out here, is the thing.
I don't think that's necessarily true. There's quite a few of us who are quite adept at hiding. Not me, of course, but I wouldn't, just because this is out in nature does not mean only the scout
This
is
isn't
capable
nature,
of hiding.
this is barely even wastes.
There are plenty
Yeah.
of dunes and shadows.
With the shadows being cast, Shadow would reasonably be able to blend in and scuttle around, unseen. In a choked out voice for new vocabulary that they are just now bringing into place, Shadow says, "Get close, let's go."
Plus,
Point
some of
fact.
us are better at realizing when we are in danger, and I think teams of two are better than solo teams.
Point of fact. If based on the gear and clothing that you've got, and based on the fact that with a little bit of this and that oil and whatnot, if Shadow took a dust bath out here, they would look like they would be dust covered, dust colored.
I start
And-
rolling
Yeah, it wouldn't take much. Might
like
take something
pill
to
in
get
a
it.
bowl.
Yeah, might take some effort to get clean afterwards, but yeah, it could be dust colored. Sorry, I keep saying that. So, Revan, what's your take?
Oh, I just want to walk up there. They're friendly. We've met friendly ones before, and I've got no reason for anything else to be out here.
Okay, Urkthor, I'm hearing that you want to recon, preferably by twos.
Yes, at
Okay.
least a group of two.
Okay, Sumac, what's your take?
I don't think moving in more than one is a smart idea when you've got something controlling in a pattern like that.
Okay,
Could probably take two people approaching it from two different sides of the structure. Go from there, but not two in one location. That would just be easier to spot.
okay, Shadow.
I just kind of nod in agreement. In a rare moment of agreeing with Sumac, I nod. I agree with her.
I mean, there is something to be said for that. If you two put your heads together and like, yeah, I hate to say it, they're out of line, but they're right. You know,
We've worked together before. We can
Yes.
do great things.
Oh, yeah,
we just aren't fond of each other.
and Micah, what's your take?
I think
Not a
both
lot
are correct. I think moving as solos over that way is a good idea. But I also think there needs to be a second person in the area
Gotcha. So
as
you're talking,
backup in case things go
yeah.
bad.
Back in the Marines, they call that point and slack. All right. So who's going to be the point of the spear going in to take the closer look?
I can probably be a little bit quicker with a snake that can move up to 17 miles an hour.
I say Sumac goes close, and I swing wide to jump in if things go south.
Any objection?
I still would just... I don't understand why we're sneaking around, but...
This is where Pilate pipes up. Sir, I think that falls firmly under the heading of operational awareness.
This is why you don't belong out here. Lack of caution gets you killed.
Shadow just Revan's the only one who likes Shadow, so they just give him a little pat on the head and as close to a smile as they can.
It's a very. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I just wanted to save my blood because it
if
was
y'all-
so applicable.
If y'all have not seen the videos of crows and ravens and corvids sneaking up on dogs and foxes and wolves and nipping their tail and then hopping off, the look on their face is a smile. I can't explain it, but just as they're like, ha 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 ha, ha, look at what I did. There is no other way to mistake that as anything other than this absolute horribly pleased with themselves grin. So I know what Shadow's smile looks like. I've seen it. All right, so it's like, ha 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 ha. All right. So, whoever's getting close, I need cool rolls from both of you, please.
Okay.
If you have
They're
anything-
doing their thing. Can I prep and ready on one of the higher points on the dune we're currently hiding behind and keep a watch from up there?
Of course.
Thank you.
I will join him, but I will also be using Witch Sight, so I can see spirits and anything that is invisible.
Okay, cool.
All right,
Oh, and I will remind you, if this is considered a stressful situation, you are holding 2 for me.
I am. You don't have to roll that? Oh, okay. I'll let you know.
And as far as stuff for being stealthy, both Sidewinder and I, if we are standing still in natural surroundings, as natural as this is going to be, we are basically invisible.
Gotcha. Okay.
Even
so,
something like Witch Sight, because you blend into the surroundings.
Gotcha. So, again, you're going to be doing a lot of movement when you don't think you're going to be observed. Awesome. All right. And a Shadow, go ahead and give me one of those, please.
Oh, I did. I give you a cool roll.
Oh, there was the 7. Oh, there was 7. And, I'm sorry, Sumac. Oh, you did. Give me a cool roll there, Sumac. Oh, beautiful. All right.
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay, so both of you are in a position to approach this space. Some things that you both obviously notice. There is a patrol, probably hard to see with the dust because they are kicking up dust. There's a group of humanoid figures, hard to identify much from a distance, but there's a bunch of pedestrians basically doing a slow counterclockwise patrol of this rectangular wall. The wall, again, there's something up about it. It seems very solid in construction, casting a good shadow, etc., etc. It's only about 10 to 12 feet. Again, based on what you can see from it here, Shadow, it would not, neither one of you, you'd be like, that would not be a difficult climb, I don't think. It's not, precision engineering here. It's a bunch of blocks piled on another bunch of blocks. The construction is relatively recent, though. None of this has seen, hundreds of years of sand scouring. The towers are also constructed of the same stuff. They're strangely squat. It's as if you were making towers out, you take a typical pyramid, so nothing falls down, and just kind of squish it together. So they're very broad-based, very narrow top. You do see some movement up at the tops. Probably lookouts, scouts, guards, something. Not really sure what, because the tops are apparently roofed, and there's only a gap of like this much to look out, so it's in shadow. The gates at the go ahead.
Can I roll to see if I think that the wall is similar to the makeup of Micah?
Well, I'm going to let you get close enough to touch it here if you want to give me 1 second.
Okay.
The gates over here are double gates. They are made out of metal. They're not made out of the same stuff that the wall is made out of. And they're fairly crudely banged together. If you can just imagine any old metal parts that are vaguely long and connectable and basically flat metal parts that can be bolted onto there. There are two figures standing guard outside of the gate, and their heads swivel slowly back and forth, scanning the area.
It seemed to be that same kind of inhuman motion, consistently ticking.
Funny you should mention it. All right, let me answer Shadow's question about the wall. You let the pedestrians go around as soon as they turn the corner. They don't seem to be doing... Again, you see heads turning, they're covered in this and that. Really hard to identify, heritage species, whatever. They're covered up pretty tight, but they move wrong. There's a lot of lurching going on. Anyway, so Shadow is able to get right up to the wall. And the blocks are about the size of cinder blocks. They're all uniform. They're all very, 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 very much alike. And they're covered in, grit, but when you go to wipe away the grit, wipe away, the sand and the dust that's on it, it's embedded in it. And you get down real close and look. All these blocks are glass. They are cinder block sized glass blocks. And they're all fitted together. You don't see any signs of mortar or anything. But it looks like glass that's really impure. Got a lot of, again, it's still got a lot of sand to it, a lot of grit to it, so they're opaque, but there's enough translucency you can tell these are all glass.
Ooh, shiny. Mine.
Yeah. Polishing it's going to be a pain in the butt, but...
Anything for the shinies.
Okay. And if anybody, Sumac, if you want to give me an observe roll,
Okay.
you can specify what you want to focus that observation on.
What'd I get?
Let's
8.
see. 8. So you get one question. Acting on the answers, you get +1 going forward.
Yep. And then I can just apply that to another roll, right?
Yes.
Is that how that works?
Yes. If the information you receive applies directly to any other roll, you get +1 to it.
Where's my best way in or way past these guys?
Okay. Well, good question. Probably, you don't see any signs of a permanent lookout over on the east side.
Okay.
Unlike the two guardy types posted outside the gates. You would be in direct line of observation from the two guard towers on that side, but that would apply no matter how you approached. Depending on your goal. If you're just trying to get up and over the wall, maybe the middle of that wall, maybe at night, maybe without, your golem, would be best. If you hear some cackling, that's my wife playing video game. If you wanted to, minimize the chance of being spotted, maybe approaching one of the corners, depending, but you're thinking a nighttime approach, best in general, nighttime approach from due east would not be the worst choice.
Oh my god, I need to stop pressing things.
Gotcha.
Go away. Okay. That's good to know.
What did you roll on that? Oh, you rolled
It was an 8.
Okay. Okay. And Shadow, you can give me an observe if you'd like.
So,
There we go. 10.
Slay.
Okay. Slay. So you get 3 questions.
Ooh. Mhm. What here is not what it appears to be.
Okay. So you're thinking, what am I missing? What's going on here? One of the patrollers, you're hunkered down real nice, looking all like sand and stuff, completely being ignored. And this pack of pedestrians goes in front of you. One of them suddenly just pitches over and falls on its face, just thunk. And the rest of them just sort of step around it and keep going.
Hmm.
Okay. And you're like, is this a trick? Is this a trap? Is this a trick? The second time around, they're not moving fast, but the second time around, one of them, probably the one in front, stops for a minute and looks, regards this thing lying on the dust, and turns to one of the other cloaked and robed and lurching figures, grabs it by the shoulder and pushes it kind of in the direction of the gates. And the patrollers sort of stand. Most of them aren't even looking around. They're just standing. And then the one that the leader type sent off comes back with a couple of other figures carrying what looks like a stretcher, and they unfold it, pick up the body on the ground, lift, and hustle back. The figures carrying the stretcher are about half human height, and they move like insects. They're very angular. There's not a lot of flesh and blood movement that looks like that.
But whatever they are, they care about each other to some extent. They care enough to grab their fallen.
Right. And then when the patrol moves on, you notice there's something lying on the ground where that thing fell over. So when you investigate, because of course, why wouldn't you? When you investigate, you find a foot.
Slay.
Yeah, it's very...
A metal foot? A fleshy foot?
No. A very rotten, desiccated, near mummified, mannish foot. Could be an elf, could be a man, could be something. It's definitely of mortal origin, and it has been dead a long time.
I put it in my bag.
Oh, I think I just threw up a little in my mouth. Right.
How much does a foot weigh? One weight?
No, not quite.
Well, this thing is going to be so light by the time.
Yeah.
All the desiccation.
Yeah. So, second question.
Oh, Jesus. Who's really in control here?
Well, you hear something when you get close to the walls. It's a clang, 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 clang. Now, if Urkthor was here, Urkthor knows what a trip hammer sounds like. Trip hammer is a sound of industry. Trip hammer is wind power. A trip hammer is a bunch of, big-thighed dwarves running on a treadmill to get the circle to come up. Wang, click, 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 click. Wang, click, 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 click. So it's a repeated sound of a large hammer hitting a large metal object. Very regular, like clockwork. You'd say who's ever running that industrial thing over there, probably in charge.
Might be the big cheese.
Yes. And last question.
Cassie, what were your two again?
I just had one.
Oh, what'd you ask?
And it was, what was my easiest way in, or the
Way
best
in and
way
out.
in?
Right. What should I be looking for?
Let me answer your question with a question. See where it takes you. What do you know about those things walking around, Shadow?
I know they're methodical, robotic. I know that they're at bare minimum carrying flesh, even if they're not necessarily made out of it.
The foot was wearing a very well-worn shoe.
Okay, so they're made of flesh, somewhat humanoid in nature. And I know that they don't seem like they're all there, but to some extent they care for their injured and they're sickly, at least enough to come pick them up.
What does that sound like to you?
Soldiers.
Sure. Another option, sure. What else? If I said the shape was lurching through the dust, one foot in front of the other until a foot falls off. Yeah, probably.
Oh, they sound a little too close to long-armed ghouls for my comfort.
Oh, no. You wouldn't have seen the long-armed ghouls at this point. Long-armed ghouls are sneaky, and they usually outnumber you like 3-1 before they attack. And they'd let you know they were coming because they'd cackle and talk and whisper like your best friend or your mom or a crying baby. No. Your concern is, the question was what?
What should I be looking for?
You should be looking for something that can control undead.
I also want to point out my Wayfinder background lets me find hidden doors and passages, even on missed rolls, but I succeeded, so I should, if there's a hidden door or passage somewhere, I can find it, and I know where it is now.
The big thoughts. The big thinks.
Big brain, baby. Galaxy brain. My head's
I will remind me of that. Let's see.
Well, yes, there is a door. It's the front one.
Shush. It specifically says hidden doors and passages.
Oh, my bad.
Well, yeah, actually you do.
Slay.
There's a part of this dune over here that you've been lurking behind. It's about probably 100 yards from the wall. You picked it because it seemed a little more durable and sturdy than some of the other dunes. Some of them you lean on them and you just keep going. And you feel something under your legs when you're crouching there, and you brush it away. There's a like a trap door. that's been covered. It's been covered by the dirt, but it's also had stuff like glued to it, so it's always going to be a certain. If you weren't right on top of it, you wouldn't have noticed it. But there's a recessed pull ring that you could theoretically use to open it up. The only problem is when you attempt it, it appears to be bolted from the far side. But if you were inside and you were like, gosh, I really wish I could run away from these adventurers who was trying to kill me. Oh, I have my secret bolt hole. This is probably where it comes out.
But if I had someone who I knew that could just melt metal like nobody's business.
I mean, yeah, but who knows anybody like that? Come on.
Oh. I can't think of anyone. Shane Kirkland's not here.
Yes. He's a smith. Who's the best smith you know? Kirkland.
Who's the second best smith you know? It's you,
Will.
Micah.
It's also Kirkland.
Jaden Smith is the second best. Fills me with happiness.
Yeah.
Anyone?
You wanna stick by that?
Hey, you can't hear her. Them.
I was talking to Owen.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Meet me at her spot. Got something I got to show you. So, armed with that knowledge, do y'all return to your friends?
I sweep more dust away from the thing so I can find it easily.
Oh, no. You're okay.
I have great memory. I know where it is.
You're a Corvid. You're like that guard post or that guard tower, this angle right here. Yeah, you could find it in your sleep.
I know where my shit is. I'd scuttle on back.
Exactly.
Once I see Sumac start heading back, I'd scuttle after her.
It makes me so happy, and this is a true story. A vast majority of trees planted over the last several centuries in North America were because squirrels forgot where they hid their nuts. So
the MSU squirrels out.
Right. So knowledge quickly filters back to all y'all. Pilot's very interested. They're not created. They're undead.
Can we double check the compass?
One way we could check it is...
I thought Pilot already checked it.
Oh, are you talking to like circle the site and see if it...
Yeah, if we circle the site and it always focuses on that same position, we know it's not just trying to lead us through the fortification.
Just wandering around, did the light change any?
If you get even 20 or 30 yards either direction, if you're just watching it, holding it real tight, it's pointing right to the center of this installation.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, and now that fat blue spark is just a solid line. So you're real close, and it's right there. Do you produce the foot in question, Shadow?
Yeah, I pull it out, and I just hand it to Revan.
Oh. Yeah.
It goes into my hand, and I immediately drop it and start retching.
See, Revan doesn't like hot dogs. I mean, you give him a good foot long, and he's just...
I pick it back up, and I offer it to Urkthorn.
I don't like those dogs.
Yeah.
I will take it, and I will look at it.
It's old and very dead and, like, desiccated. This thing has not had any blood flowing through it for a long time. It's also strangely limber. Like
I'm going to run through my head of old war tactics and things that I've heard generals say and do. And okay, yeah, I'll hit a recall. Or do you want to hear what I'm trying to think of first?
Sure. I'll tell you if you get a bonus to it.
Okay, so first off, can I ask Pilot a question?
Sure.
Do you recognize this kind of compass that Sumac has?
Yes, sir. I was discussing it with Master Evan. That's a it's a direction finder. Usually it's attached. It's usually attached to the cruder models because they're not real good at the higher brain function stuff.
That's right. That's right. Thank you. It slipped my mind. I forgot about that for half a second. What I'm trying to think, well, actually, let's go back, is I probably face the undead on a few different matters. I'd probably know some ideas of what kinds of creatures like to use the undead as their foot soldiers and their lackeys. What kind of creatures or forces does this usually match with this day and age?
That's hard. Go ahead and give me a recall roll, please. Okay. Something interesting up to you to make it useful. The problem is the short version is anybody who has the power to do so. Okay. If, Revan's second cousin twice removed was also a covenant and had picked up some magical oomph so that they could raise the dead and control them, there are communities that be like, oh, okay, can they run the treadmill? Can they plow the fields? Can they, carry stuff? It would be, necromancy, but all magic is kind of, nowadays. It's variations on a theme. The problem is,
Quantity.
The foot's been dead for a while. It hasn't been dead for 200 years. Something has the capacity to make undead. And when they're talking about hammers going, now you're like, not liking that. You did hear, okay, here's something interesting. You did hear,
actually, can I make some speculations and you tell me if I'm on the right track?
Let me tell you this and you tell me.
Okay.
There was, you've actually run into these before. Some crazy necromancer had like one spell, raise dead skeletons, loves skeletons. However, he had kind of a crazy blacksmith buddy who was banding all of the skeleton pieces in, sheathing them in iron, in some cases dipping them in iron before sparking up the bodies. Okay, so they were these incredibly tough, armored, undead skeletons. So meshing of metallurgy and necromancy could lead some bad places. What was your speculation, Miles?
So my speculation is, first off, no offense to the stories of the Sea of Dust, but we made it here rather safely, probably thanks to our expert reconnaissance help, but also it's deadly for sure, but also it'd be much more deadly if somebody was looking for fuel for their undead army and making sure that anything that entered into the waste never left. So this is suspicious to me because, first off, most people within their right minds don't wander into the wastes, and like you said, most of these bodies are relatively not thousands of years old. So somehow this place is getting a fuelage of undead bodies, and to be completely honest, a good supply of that is gung-ho adventurers who found some sort of lead on some mystical treasure, such as, who knows, a compass that was attached to a body that somebody tossed to be found. And this all sounds very suspicious to me, and I'm not liking the sounds of it.
So Urkthor thinks that this is an elaborate trap for people such as you. Again, you've heard
Can I see if
crazier
that
stuff.
foot seems natural?
Yeah.
As in came from something that was originally living and created normally, I guess?
Yes, it looks like an elven foot, elven heritage, long, slim, long toes. But
I would like to know exactly which one of us knows enough about elven feet specifically to figure that out. I want to know.
Might have eaten one or two in the past.
my source on elven
Ryan.
feet.
Oh,
My,
sorry.
my source on Elven Feet is now actually making art content for video games. I think he's got this new thing. What is it? She's got the white eyes, but she's not blind. Anyway, I'm
yeah.
not the foot expert here. Okay, I bow to their superior knowledge and wisdom.
200 years.
Sumac might have eaten one once or twice.
Yeah.
Sumac just goes, "That's elven. I know how that tastes."
Well, no, Sumac's the tracker, and it's like long, slim feet, fairly lightweight. That's probably an elf or related. Big, wide feet. 18 inches long. Probably ogre. Might be minotaur, depending. Et cetera, et cetera. No, and again, you got to remember, Sumac's got literally hundreds of years of experience of stuff. So the knowledge and feet leaving tracks. The knowledge might only be this wide, but it is miles deep. Okay, so yeah, could be an elaborate trap.
So, team, I do believe, thanks to Shadow, we do have a potential way into, again, so long that we can get through the door, which either by Micah's abilities or my strength, we can definitely get through a bolted door. Come on. But we have a way in. This could most definitely be a trap, in which case we all could perish very painfully, which I'd prefer to avoid. So, be aware what we're looking for might not be down there. So put your lives above anything else, and let's get on an adventure.
All right, and we are now 10:25 p.m. on Eastern Daylight Time.
That it does.
Looks like we're right
We are
around
hitting
time.
our stopping point.
Yes, right around time. Well played, folks. Well played. All right, so we're going to go to end of session. So, first question. Check your blood. Check your blood. Is there any blood that has been completely explored, no longer relevant? Again, to our viewers at home, blood is shared history between a couple of characters. It's a prevailing attitude, and you get XP if you resolve the blood. I used to think so-and-so is a coward. Now I think they contain hidden depths. I change the blood, and I mark experience. Anybody have any changes or additional blood?
I would say Shadow might change their blood with Sumac and Sidewinder to I'm still not fond of them, but I remember that we can work together really well.
Mine just hit with Revan. He has no business being out here. That's exactly what's written.
That hasn't changed. Yeah.
No, it was just an example.
You rear echelon mother scratchers really get us riled when you come out here, boy. All right, go ahead and mark XP there, Shadow. Anybody else have any blood that might have been fully explored?
Shadow no longer treats me like a treasure that they would like to acquire, but like a treasure they need to acquire.
Correct.
I don't know if that counts as blood, but like it is true.
You can change it. It's not enough of a.
That was the question. Yeah.
Differentiation. Anybody else? Okay, cool. Next up, we got motivation. Always motivation. Check your motivation, folks. Again, for those viewing at home, motivation in other systems might be called alignment. However, motivation has a goal. The good paladin is going to protect those weaker than them, i.e. everybody. The lawful paladin is going to uphold the law, and the just paladin is going to drag evildoers back to justice. Same character, same skill sets, 3 very different motivations. And if you hit your motivation goal in session, you mark XP. Anybody hit your motivation goal?
I do believe I have most definitely hit my motivation.
What was yours?
I am motivated by glory, showing off in front of NPCs who might tell my tale.
Mark XP. Anybody else?
Thank you.
I don't think I caused any unnecessary trouble.
You made a just concerted effort at it with the big party before you left. I'm going to go ahead and give you XP for that.
I did try very hard.
You did. If you, I mean, maybe if you set the tavern on fire, that might have been an oomph.
Oh my god, that's such a great idea for the next time.
Please don't listen to me. Please
I'll
don't listen
pencil
to
that
me.
one
Why
in.
do I talk?
I'll pencil that
Why do I talk? Why do I say this to them? Is it an illness? Okay, it's an illness. I'll take more meds. Anybody else? Revan, what's yours?
Altruism, to use magic to directly aid another. I didn't cast many spells today.
Not yet. Micah.
To give a service, exchange a sacrifice freely given for a service rendered.
Beautiful. And Sumac hasn't put anything out of their misery. Dun dun dun. Yet.
That'll be coming.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that shouldn't be walking around.
Sumac's praying for the day she gets to put down Shadow.
That's not true.
That's
not true.
Actually,
Streams about
it's
it.
not
It's not
You're
true.
useful as bait.
Check
just
your
a
keys.
minute. Can I actually go back to blood? I have a blood I'd like to add.
What's that?
So I would like to add a blood with Sumac. Specifically, she is far too untrusting of her companions and needs to put a little more faith in them.
Ooh.
Is that does that work for you, Sumac?
I understand it.
Okay, so Urthor could make a case.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Mark XP, please. All right, next
He's
up.
probably thought that for a while.
Yeah, it's just it happens. Everybody, check your keys again for the viewing public. Keys are negative personality quirks that the other players can spark. So, for instance, anybody want to share one of their keys?
Hello.
I can do mine.
Oh, I thought I procced mine for the once.
Hit it.
I am naive/trusting. Assume the worst of a person or situation so I can counteract that and act trusting. I tried to walk right up to this fortress and say hello.
Nice job.
Let's go for that. Living in the moment. Awesome. Anybody else?
I think I hit mine with curiosity. Try to keep me on task so I can go herring off after misery.
Yeah,
Somebody went invisible.
There is that. Yeah. You whatever you were doing.
And I was gonna be damned to hell if I didn't figure out what the hell that was about.
Yeah, and Micah, you mark XP too for triggering that, please.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Oh, forgot about that.
All
Didn't
right.
find anything shiny to steal.
Yet. Dun dun dun.
Yet.
All right. So the big three. Did you learn something new and important about the world?
Yup.
Yes.
Yes.
There are things in the dust.
Yes.
In
In a fortress.
Everybody mark XP. Did we overcome a notable monster or enemy?
We overcame a notable environment.
Not until you make it back.
Ugh.
Tell me when you're having a drink in the tavern, because yes, the landscape is its own monster basically.
We convinced the clean to give us quite a bit of stuff for their adventure.
Revan, about middle of the night, the second night, you're like, that was their first offer.
Yeah, well aware.
What
You
did they know?
fool.
We could have gotten a bit more.
This sits up in his bedroll. Is like, oh my gosh, that was their first offer. What would we could have? Anyway,
But it was everything I could have wanted.
Well, more jingle
dang it.
and drinking would be great, but
Dang it. Okay.
Yeah.
And last
Okay.
of all, did you recover a noteworthy treasure? Not
a
No.
good time.
Don't think a foot counts.
The friends we meet along the way.
The foot.
yet. Oh god.
My queen!
The food.
Yes. There are
Hey,
12
would she
ships.
accept that as a sacrifice? Would she take flesh?
The light queen?
Hope not. You better hope not. Just remember, folks. There are tall ships. There are small ships. There are ships that sail the sea. But the best ship is friendship.
Listen,
It's
I can set it on fire. She'd probably take it.
Fire. That rules. All right.
Burn it.
Then, gold stars. Scout Sumac, who gets your gold star for this evening?
Probably Micah. I had no clue what the hell was going on there. But it was
Micah
definitely
had a
interesting.
plan.
Yes. Micah.
And
who
you
gets
made my life more difficult. I'm going back to that blood. I'm not even sure I can teach you how to survive in the wild anymore. You might just be the antithesis with that light.
Oh yeah,
Well, also he's naturally suited for the dust.
Yes.
that's true.
I don't think survive is the word. I think you're just a ornament at this point.
Sooner or later,
Coexist.
Sumac's blood with Micah is going to die petting something he shouldn't. It's going to be along those lines. All right, Micah, who gets your gold star tonight?
Devin for giving me the idea of the invisibility in the first place.
Oh, okay. Know who to blame. That's always awesome.
Mhm.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Thanks.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And Shadow, who gets yours?
Urkthor, for the very dramatic, yes, write a song about me, leave out all of my friends, make it only about me. That
It's for
was...
your own safety, I swear.
I don't know if you saw me have to turn off my mic because I was laughing so hard.
Yes.
No, please, next time don't.
Yes. Yes.
I don't think y'all want the literal tea kettle laugh right in your ears.
Yeah. Now here's
But the audience does.
Here's how the song goes. Urkthor, you ready?
Oh, yes.
You're so vain. You probably think this bardic's about you. You're so vain. Making dragons take your name in vain. You're so vain. That's Urkthor. All right. So, Urkin out. Urkthor, who gets yours?
I will give mine to Revan, who gave me the opportunity to meet such important and powerful people
Yes. Yes.
to take advantage of.
Rev, who gets yours, buddy?
Shadow is getting mine, while Revan does not enjoy the foot. I very much did enjoy being gifted such a wonderful present.
Yes. And now, a moment for the character that we all know about. Their saving throws. Get saving throws. They failed a charisma save once, just to see what it would feel like. They're often called by the town guard for questioning, not because they're under suspicion, but because they're just so fun to talk to. They are the most interesting character in the world. Game on, friends. All right. As a jump toast tonight, I had it suggested to me. I'm going to try it out. Okay. Y'all see what you like. I will accept feedback from our viewing audience as well. One of you, their name rhymes with pen. One of you suggested that I give out a gold star, just for noticing. Good role play, good interaction, keeping the plot moving along, adding complications, etc., etc. I might have to wait till next week because all y'all were doing real good. If I'm gonna have to give it to Urkthor as portrayed by Hunter, just because every
You're
single
just
one
feeding
of you,
it, you know.
I know.
He has to.
Hunter
The
is
more you
just
feed it, the
playing
bigger
himself.
it gets.
Wait.
Where is it going to go?
Issue.
It's a mess. You just have to watch.
Here's my
He's
reasoning.
not going to be able to carry his head with all this ego.
Yeah, here's my reasoning.
He's sitting back his chair.
Every single one of you has really found their character's music. You've got a really, really clear idea in your head. What does my character do? What does my character think? How does my character approach stuff? But to go so perfectly self-absorbedly out of their way to make sure nobody else is mentioned in the Bard song, that's like over and above. I mean, me as an actor, as a member who has trod the stage, trying to get the top billing, it's just it's Urkthor and Friends, and the Friends is like 12-point font, and hard to read at a distance. That's again, anybody can make an Ugg Thump fighter, and again, gang, once we viewing public, once that dude gets into a fight, you're gonna when this dwarf hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious shit, and it's not pretty, but he's not just Ugg Thump, and I'm here for that. All right, so
Ugg Thump.
questions, comments, concerns. All right. Well, thank you all once again for stopping by to watch us, trip into things and make fun of Revan. But it's not all fun and games, folks. Sometimes.
You make it too easy.
Who, Rev?
It's my job, okay?
Yeah. My unmonetized plug of the week, folks, is a book called The Ministry for the Future by Kim Stanley Robinson. Mr. Robinson has been called one of the greatest American novelists by people like Neil Gaiman. Generally acknowledged as one of the greatest living science fiction writers. For my money, one of the most important political writers working in America.
Gaiman or Gaiman? I've heard it both ways.
Gaiman.
Gay man.
Gaiman. And that dude, I would listen to that guy read a laundry list. He's just got an amazing voice. All right, so run out and read that book. It's quite the hefty tome. This is not a normal size hand. This is a big book, but yeah, it's important. New York Times bestseller. All right, so next week or next time, might be next week, might be next time. We'll decide. We'll find out what's on the inside of the glass bricked compound.
Follow the glass brick road, my guys.
Oh, mercy. All right. Well, thanks again, folks, for watching it. No Theoretical Bias presents. And I am your host. What's my name again? We'll be here next time. Please take care. And any questions, comments, concerns, complaints from the viewing audience are welcomed at all times. All right. Mr. Heston, can you count us out, please? All the opinions of Owen are his own, and he's been asked multiple times to stop. So,
Set.
adios.